Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It is good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and things look and sound good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me and things look and sound bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early, all right? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with the Brooklyn Queen? Shout out to my man Carlton Way. What's good with the Carlton? And shout out to PJ Allen. Good to see you guys. And shout out to everybody who has not said anything yet. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do that. If you haven't shared the stream, please do that. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. All right. So what we're going to be talking about is we're going to go into a little bit of Alligator Alcatraz. And if we got time, we're going to go into some other things. I'm not going to say exactly what they are yet. All right. I'm not going to say exactly what they are yet. They're very interesting, though. But once we get there, we'll tackle those issues. All right. So the first thing that we need to discuss is we need to talk about this politician who encouraged gang members to attack ICE. How many people heard about that? If you guys heard about that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not hear about that, give me a thumbs down. Curious what you guys think about it. Let's go.
Well, the vice mayor of one Los Angeles County town is under federal investigation after she called on two of LA's largest gangs to take on federal immigration agents. Watch.
Now that's just wild. And I'm not trying to be funny, man. This is simp behavior right here. You know what I'm saying? This is absolutely simp behavior. This is mama said politics. And it's just wild that this individual actually put this out here and did this publicly. It's wild that she did this, period. It's wild that she did this, period. I mean, this is the equivalent of just the expectation of mama boy simping. Mama boy simping, man. This is wild. Look at this.
Vice mayor of one Los Angeles County town is under federal investigation after she called on two of LA's largest gangs to take on federal immigration agents. Watch.
I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18.
I want you to. This is a woman in her raw form calling degenerates, quote unquote, the leadership. Shout out to Casey Malone. What's good with it, bro? You guys see? I want y'all to make sure that y'all see this. You see this? Where the bad boys at? Where the bad boys at? This is wild, man. This is a politician being a ratchet tramp. A ratchet, stereotypical tramp calling for violence. Like, this is where we at. This is where we at. Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. That was that I'll have to find that video, but it was the same situation, same state, same quote unquote people. Right? Shout out to my man DeAndre. Make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for DeAndre enforcing the likes. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Yeah, I have too. Shout out to Carlton. I have too. And again, this substantiates it further, right? She's calling for this Florencia Firestone and these cholos and probably other groups, you know what I'm saying? Norteños and Serranos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is the Democrats. We said it yesterday. We've been saying it again. Put it in the chat. Pro-crime culture. Pro-crime culture. Democrats. You got a Democrat female calling these criminal degenerates. You got them calling them leadership. I mean, this is just wild. Where's the leadership? Like, this is wild, man. Who does this?
Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. So whoever's the leadership over there, just get your members in order.
Get your members in order. What y'all think about that? I'm not surprised. Very interesting. Let's see what else they got to say. We're gonna look at a couple videos that discuss this.
California Vice Mayor Cynthia Gonzalez mentions the infamous 18th Street gang and Florencia. These gangs have a reputation for extreme violence, targeted killings of rival gangs and innocent civilians, drug trafficking and extortion, sexual violence and exploitation, and that's just the first drop in the bucket. One LA police union chief wants Gonzalez held to the highest account, telling Fox News Digital, quote, she should definitely resign from her position, and the district attorney or U.S. attorney should bring charges against her if she crossed any legal lines.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all agree with this? If you guys agree with what this LA Police Union individual says, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, she did. Facts. Shout out to DeAndre. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see it? She said, where your members at? Where your members at? Florencia. Where the homies at? Y'all be tagging everything up. Like, for real? Hey, simps. And we all know that in most cases, criminal degenerates are simps. They are simps of the highest order. Most criminals are simps. They are mama's boys. They are sensitive. They are looking for a reason to do violence. So they are hyper, quote unquote, protect a woman. That's why a lot of women in many cases always run and get a simp, because simps will do anything. They're some of the most dangerous people on the planet. And she's getting these simps, trying to tell these simps to get their, get your simping in order. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You got a baby mama that look like me. What about your abuela? It's not very hard to see where the origins of many things come from. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. That's where we at with it. That's where we at with it.
These gang members are known to be violent. They have killed law enforcement officers in the past. And it is completely irresponsible and reprehensible for Gonzalez to even engage in that kind of talk or behavior. Leslie, that's near your hood.
Yep.
Talk to me about how the community feels about her call to action here. And I'm really hoping that they stand with law enforcement in there and see that this is reprehensible too.
Oh, I'll tell you what they think, because I live in Los Angeles, and thank you so much, because I'm so tired of watching people on TV across the board who've never been to LA telling me what they think. What she said was disgusting. I would agree there. Overwhelming majority of people, even in that community, think that that's disgusting, that she should resign or she should be terminated. But what we further find disgusting, yesterday at my post office, we had ICE in the parking lot. My post office is ground central for everyone who lost their home or their home was damaged like mine in the Eaton Canyon fire. These people are traumatized, and you got these guys, and we don't even know if they're really ICE. They're refusing to give their names, their badge numbers, show their faces. What we are upset about in California is that we don't have ICE going after these gangs. They know where they are.
Hey, shout out to Carlton. Carlton said he recognized he ain't thinking about Florencia Firestone and them cholos. He recognized that pretty gang gear, though. He said she got on the red bottoms. Her job must pay well. Yeah, she wearing the bloody shoes, mad about gang violence.
And believe me, these gangs and these gang members, they're not washing dishes. They're not at Home Depot. They're certainly not the mother breastfeeding the baby. They're certainly not the cancer victim. They're certainly not in the elementary schools or at the graduations. And those are the people that
you live in a sanctuary state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if ICE goes after the gangs, the LAPD have been told, back off, don't help ICE find people. No, come on, Leslie.
Aaron, I'm sorry. There's video
state.
Everywhere with LAPD assisting ICE in Los Angeles. There's video yesterday morning of that. And there's real-time live stream. There's tape. It's all over. You can Google it. I'm sorry. What we want is the worst of the worst. And those gang members,
so you better get rid of that
I got a question. Y'all see this lady? Y'all see how this lady is built? How many of y'all think this lady snores? If y'all think that she snores, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I bet you she snores and loud.
The sex traffickers, the gang members, we want them deported, not the children, the cancer victims, the women breastfeeding their babies.
So where's the protesting to support the LAPD? Where's the protesting to call and thank you publicly to the ICE agents to go out and get the bad guys, the worst of the worst.
Because
Where is
they're
all
not
of that?
out getting the worst of the
Yes,
worst. Where I live, no, they're not. They're not. They're going into churches, elementary schools, graduations. And that's another thing. It's not what they're doing, it's the way they're doing it. Example, you're at your kid's high school graduation, right? There's one person there, let's say, that they're after. They can get that person outside their home, outside of their work. They don't need to ruin
Leslie,
the graduation
you
for all
know
those
they
kids and
use
all those
people as human
parents.
shields. We saw that in Colorado
Yeah.
in Aurora at that apartment complex.
Laura, I want to get you in here. You have interviewed so many of the heads of law enforcement agencies now in this country. And the reality is that ICE is trying to do their job. And at every level, they are being thwarted and prevented by the California state leadership, local leadership, in addition to the community that wants to dox them. And that's just the tip of that iceberg. We know as well that assaults on ICE agents have increased 500%. So the reality is that they are trying to protect American interests. They are being thwarted every second. And for an elected official to call on violent law enforcement.
Hey, Carl, shout out to Casey. Casey said she be laying in the bed looking like a beached whale, talking about, that's hilarious. She probably do. And then she paused for a long time and be like,
murderous gangs to help defend the territory against a federal agency that is unethical at a minimum, illegal at most.
Yeah, and I don't want to assume anything that went on during the filming of this post that she put up there, but it does seem like she maybe was enjoying herself and imbibing in some way, potentially on the front end. It just kind of felt like that. I would also warn, if you are an elected official, think twice before you post a video. She deleted that video because she knew full well it was a mistake to post it. You're right, though. We want our law enforcement officers, whoever they are, federal, local, state, they ought to be able to go out and do their jobs. That is what the American people have said time and time again.
hey, I want y'all to look at this tattoo real quick. Y'all see this tattoo? See, it got 666. Then it's got an upside down cross, right? Which is interesting. But then look at over each eye. It says Thug Life. I thought y'all didn't like Tupac. I thought y'all ain't like us. Weirdos. Simps. Go get put back in jail for that pear-shaped politician. You know what I'm saying? You know?
That is what the American people have said time and time again they want to see happen. And Leslie, by the way, they absolutely are going after gang members.
Yes.
Donald Trump, during his first term in office, was dead set on getting rid of MS-13 gang members. He went all across the country seeking them out. You don't hear a lot about MS-13 as much anymore. Thanks to President Trump. He's going after the gangs. Believe me, that is top priority for him.
Now, Guy, the local other officials there have said that was her personal opinion. They distanced themselves, said it wasn't her official capacity. But when you represent an elected office, that's a 24-hour-a-day job. There's been plenty of calls for her resignation and more, including an investigation by the FBI.
Yeah, there'd be consequences. If that's just her personal opinion, it's a terrible one, first of all. And also, she has this job that she needs to understand their responsibilities that come with that job. When I was doing some research for this,
right. Shout out to Carlton. That's facts. Carlton says you cannot get a job with those tattoos. That's facts. So my question for you is, how do these people make a living? If you can't get a job with them tattoos and you got tattoos all over your face to where you're not even able to be identified, not to mention you don't have the documentation to be able to be identified, how are people like that making money? Yeah, shout out to the big backs. Shout out to the big backs. Upside down pair at that. That's what they call. That's what they call top heavy, and not in a good way, right?
segment on this story because we've been talking about it for several days. I noticed there were a few articles in the Los Angeles Times sort of running interference for her. What she really meant by this, what her lawyer's saying. I then did some more digging.
Right.
Los Angeles.
Oh, we didn't do it with class. That's right. It's expired. Rotten pear-shaped politician. To you. Oh, man.
Times endorsed her for school board in 2019 when she was running for school board. She's an educator. So I looked at her official biography. I just want to read one quick quote from her official bio. Dr. Gonzalez is passionate about creating healthy and safe communities. Well, then, I'm not sure how safe it is to sick gang members on federal agents, as she did in that video.
I look forward to that resignation. I'm sure it'll be coming shortly. Hey,
yeah, I don't think so. Sorry to burst your bubble. How many people think that she's going to resign? If you guys think that she's going to resign, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think that she's going to resign, then give me a thumbs down. It's just like anything else, right? It's just like anything else. It's all theater. She's not going to resign. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be free to say and do more stupid things on taxpayers' time and dollar for the most part, right? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you have not hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and please share the stream to your social media.
For nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at?
Hey, what I tell you? Shout out to Win Lose or Rug. What I tell you about them people that talk in that my people's language. Simping. This is a. If you guys would agree, this is a simp calling call. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree and not say that this is a simp calling card, well then tell me what you think that it is. This is absolutely a simp calling card. This is why it's important. It's important for a lot of males to be mentally strong. There's a lot of males out there who don't know anything other than responding to orders that sound like this. And those males are a problem, and they are not only unsafe for other males, but they're unsafe for the entire society. Simps need to be eradicated. Made an example of at all times and completely eradicated. Okay? This is a simp call. Why is it that so many males who are Democrats are spineless simps? This is what they do. Shout out to Carlton. Jasmine Crockett uses her quote-unquote sister girl voice, and it's so phony. It's so phony. The Democrats, no matter the color, use the same playbook. Facts. Big facts. If you guys would agree with Carlton, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. All of the Democrats use politicians that make caricatures of their voter bases and their supporters. So this woman is portraying herself how she sees her Latino supporters. She's not even, there's industrious Latinos. You know what I'm saying? There's not, like, every Latino is not a quote unquote gang member. She decided to make a stupid vertical video with idiotic AI highlighting every word because people have no attention span. That's required these days in order to keep people watching videos, to highlight everything like you're watching one of those bouncy ball kid song shows, right? And she didn't say, hey, business owners, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of Latinos in Silicon Valley. She didn't do that. She said, hey, yo, criminal degenerates. Take care of your people. They toxically take, quote unquote, care of their people. That's why they end up in prison. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to look at the female politician. The first thing that came to this female politician is to holler at the most degenerate males that are part of her quote unquote social circle. She didn't say, like, let me go talk to these CEOs of these businesses. Let me go talk to some of these, people who are in academia. Nope. She said, let me come talk to this gutter trash, the same type of gutter trash, that gets access to reproduction in most cases with most women. Because That's what we want to be, quote unquote, our leadership. Let me go talk to this gutter trash. If you ask me, this is one of the reasons why there's so many children being born with developmental disorders and not a lot of brain power, because when you have a gender that across the board, race, culture, ethnicity, regardless, are attracted to the lowest of the low, the dumbest of the dumb, they are actually very responsible. Not only is technology responsible, but dating choice is responsible for breeding out the little bit of intelligence that the human society has. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. The first kind of males that this idiot thought to think about. Let me find the degenerates, and I'm going to talk to them. She ain't doing nothing but moving like, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's not a politician. She ain't doing nothing but moving like an MW. She moving like a modern woman. Where the real cholos at? Where them killers at? Like, for real? So again, this also debunks a lot of the content where you got black content creators going in on black women as if black women are the only kind of women that display this ratchet behavior. There is a large packet within every group of women who display ratchet, degenerate-seeking behavior. And it seems in most cases, the ones that do that, I don't know if it's some type of mathematical situation or what, those ones seem to be the most fertile in every situation. Every situation. Degenerate-seeking females tend to be the most fertile. Those are the ones that if you look at, next thing you know, they're talking about, you know, the baby is yours, right? We ain't even did nothing yet. What are you talking about? Those are the ones that if you get too close to them on a bus, or if you walk past them in the mall, they're hitting you up in a month, talking about you know it's yours, right? What are you talking about? All I did was say excuse me and move past you. These type of degenerate-seeking women can get pregnant with quadruplets from a look. Yeah, I'd shout out to Carlton. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Carlton said, I've seen women of all races act like this. And don't get it twisted, right? There's men who behave like this. They behave like the complement to this, right? And they facilitate women acting like this. It's for those of us who are not simps, those of us who are industrious, females who are not degenerate. It is up to us to destroy this element of society. These people already think that they're tough. They think that they're tough because they go in and out of jail. They think that they're tough because they're in the street making, you know, fast money. These people aren't tough when you get them cornered. But the Democrat machine takes this element of every single culture, regardless of who it is, from black people to Latinos to white people to whoever, and they create a caricature and use these quote unquote cultural calling cues as a way to try to signal and message their audience. These people are pieces of crap. I guarantee you there's some people who are not very happy that this lady is calling these gangs because they probably lost family members to these gangs, probably right within her own community. You know what I'm saying? But she's sitting up there calling these people like they some type of heroes. She's a clown. Shout out to James Sumler. What's good with it, bro? She's a clown, and people that move like her are clowns. And people need to stop being afraid of quote unquote criminal degenerates. And the biggest way, if you ask me, one of the biggest ways to send a message to Democrats is to self-check the criminal degenerates that the Democrats try to replicate in order to talk to the base. Shout out to Cameron. What's good with you, bro? And again, this is what I'm telling people about rejecting down badism. How many people believe that there needs to be a move against down badism? There needs to be a protest from, you know, corporate people who have jobs, quote unquote, six-figure successful people, where we lock out and box out and put these punks, these criminal degenerates, into homeless shelters. As much chaos as these type of people cause, we need to get these people up out of here. We need to get on our own ICE move and deport degeneracy. You know what I'm saying? Because look at the politicians talking to you. And the politicians, the way that they talk to you, that's a reflection of how they see you. And shout out to Cameron. She is built like a potato. Little spud potato built self. How many of y'all agree with Cameron? She look like a potato spud. Her name is Spudder. Her name, she like salt and pepper. Her name is Spudderella.
We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at?
Look at that. Look at that. Come on, man. You look like a mask that's hanging up in somebody's house. Hey, she looked like a mask that's hanging up in somebody's house. Come on, man. Let's fast forward this video real quick and see what JD Vance is talking about.
And the final and most important thing, and I think this is the most important issue confronting this country, and it was certainly the most important issue that was destroying this country over the past 4 years, and that is the issue of illegal immigration. Now, if I had stood here in October of 2024, and you had told me that after 45 days of the Trump administration, we would have illegal border crossings down between 95 to 99%, I would have said, whoa. I believe the president is very serious about this, and I believe the president is very effective. But there is no way that we're going to have illegal border crossings down that much. And I'm happy to report that 1.5 months into the Trump administration, we had illegal border crossings down 99%. It was a radical success, and it happened very quickly. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that saved the United States of America, because we know exactly what the Democrats, not because we had to read their minds, but because Democrats would go out and say that what they wanted to do with those 25 million illegal aliens is give every single one of them the right to vote.
Now, let me ask you guys this. How many people agree with what JD Vance is saying here? If you guys agree with what JD Vance is saying here, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, here goes my question, right? This is the question. Why are Democrats pandering to criminals? Again, more evidence, right? The Democrats move adjacent with the criminals of the world, with the criminals of your locality. These people have no problem with collaborating with criminals. They have no problem with being part of criminal culture. And as a result of Democrats being part of criminal culture, having no issue associating with criminality, this is one of the reasons why they're comfortable with and never mention the fact that in every Democrat area, it always outpaces any other area in terms of crime. Always. So people should think, if I vote for a Democrat, crime in my area is going to increase. How many people want to vote for crime? If you want to vote for crime, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want to vote for crime, give me a thumbs down.
And turn them into permanent wards of the Democratic Party. And if we allowed that to happen, if we allowed the Democratic Party to import voters instead of persuade voters, that would have been the end of American democracy. You hear the American media say all the time that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. The threat to the democracy is Democrats importing voters instead of persuading their fellow citizens.
Now, let me ask you guys this. If you guys agree with JD Vance, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Real quick, shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media.
And now we have largely solved that problem. If you look, for the first time in 50 years, years, we now—
Yeah, she looks funny. Shout out to Rhonda. She looks funny. You guys ready to laugh? She looks funny. She actually looks like a treasure troll. Like, she for real actually looks like one. How many people remember treasure trolls? She looks just like one. Put some lipstick on a treasure troll. Bet you would think that is her.
Now have net negative illegal immigration. That means we're deporting more people that are coming in through illegal immigration. That is the biggest testament to a change in presidential leadership. And I was in the Senate when the Democrats were trying to say that the thing that we had to do was pass this ridiculous, massive new set of laws and new set of amnesties to get control of the American southern border. And as the president said at the State of the Union just a couple of months ago, it turns out you didn't need a big new law to secure the border. You just needed a new president of the United States. So we've done all these things with effective presidential leadership. And of course, we've got a lot of good guys in Washington, D.C. who are working very hard. And I want to give a shout out. I don't believe that they're here. I actually believe that John Houston and Bernie Moreno, hopefully they're in Washington, D.C., working on the big, beautiful bill. They're doing a great job. And we are lucky in the state of Ohio to have great political leadership across the board.
Not for
All right, yeah, so there's that. All right, and again, you know, they just decided to put her back up on the screen. How stupid can you be? And then they said that she deleted the message. You know, anytime somebody deletes messages, I question it. Why you delete the message? You know what I'm saying? You delete the message for? If you really moving like that, there ain't no need to delete the message. Now, how many people heard about these quote unquote 9 immigrants indicted for illegally re-entering the United States? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is when discussing this, and the Democrats are doing all of this simping that they do for the illegal migrant situation, one thing that they really don't talk about too much is they don't talk about how often these people repeat offend. Let me ask you guys this question. How often do these people repeat offend? Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said they called them chunky Latina chicks gorditas. Shit is hilarious. Probably the most creative roast that they have. Yeah, she's a gordita. You know what I'm saying? She's a gordita, little built like a tuna fish. That's what I call women that look like that. She got that tuna fish body. You know what I'm saying? It's just big and it doesn't jiggle. It's, you know what I'm saying, interesting.
A dozen illegal migrants who'd been previously deported from the U.S. are back behind bars in the country. The U.S. Attorney's Office announced 16 deported individuals have been indicted by a federal grand jury for illegal.
Hey, how many of y'all seen that clip? How many of y'all seen that clip with Jim Jones going in on Mace? And he was like, yeah, you know, Jim Jones, he got the fake deep voice. He was like, yeah, Mace talking all this crazy shit. I'm finna body shame this fool right now. I'm finna body shame this fool. Y'all see that? I'm body shaming this chick. You know what I'm saying? She looked like a treasure troll and built like a tuna fish.
More than a dozen illegal migrants who'd been previously deported from the U.S. are back behind bars in the country. The U.S. Attorney's Office announced 16 deported individuals have been indicted by a federal grand jury for illegal re-entry into the United States. More than half of those arrests were made in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties.
Hey.
Well, today we asked local sheriffs about their efforts to...
Hey, Carl just said like a Coke can instead of a Coke bottle. She built like a bag of Coke, bro. She's not built like a can of Coke. She's not built like a bottle of Coke. She's built like a bag of Coke. She's built like a bag of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? She's built exactly like a bag of cocaine.
Help the federal government.
Sheriffs Bob Johnson and Chip Simmons say assisting with illegal immigration isn't new, but the current process has ramped up the efforts. And Tanner Stewart joins us now in the studio, and he has a breakdown of those arrests.
So, Bob, out of these 16 arrests, 3 of them were deported in the last 4 years and since returned. But some of these arrests go back nearly 30 years. Law enforcement says they're...
So now, here's my question. This is a question to everybody. These migrants who are repeat illegal entry attemptees, how should they be dealt with? Is my question for you guys. And shout out to you guys. We got the 1-to-1 popping off. We got 14 and 14. Make sure y'all throw that number 14 in the chat. That's what's good.
Doing what they can to help the government. Today, we're asking our local law enforcement leaders how the federal immigration crackdown is being handled in our area.
When we get a request from a law enforcement agency, we're going to certainly help them.
We support their efforts.
This year, at least 16 illegal migrants have been arrested in the Panhandle for re-entering the country after being deported in the past. 14 of the arrests occurred in the last month, including 3 in Santa Rosa County. Sheriff Bob Johnson says the county hasn't experienced a wave of deportations like in some big cities. The sheriff says the concern lies with the capacity at the jail. Santa Rosa County is the only jail in Northwest Florida to house federal inmates.
President Trump has said, he wants to get the illegal aliens out of the country, and, we'll help them when we can. Although we're kind of short-staffed as it is, too. So, we're doing all our regular stuff, domestics and all that other stuff, too. So we can help them when we can help them. I don't know how many we have in the county right now. I couldn't tell you. But if they get, 200 at one time and bring them to my jail, yeah, that's going to be an issue.
Over the last month, at least 3 migrants were arrested for driving without a license. One of them, 23-year-old Mexican national Oscar Alva Cabrera, was arrested for leaving the scene of a...
Now, here goes my question. Why is it that the Democrats never say the light punishments that the migrants get for doing these type of crimes? American citizens should also get light punishments for doing these type of crimes. Let me ask you guys this question. What is the punishment for driving without a license? What happens to you? Now, look at what else he did. In 2024, this individual left the scene of a crash. What happens to you if you leave a scene of a crash? Now, do you guys remember the older videos when we were talking about the situation that was going on in Springfield, Ohio? And I kept asking the question, how are insurance companies dealing with this? What kind of insurance do they give migrants SR22 bonds? What kind of auto insurance are migrants out here rocking with? If they don't have a driver's license, they are uninsured. What's going on in migrant areas? How much is it driving uninsured motorist costs up? No one's done a study on that or asked those questions.
Crash and deported in 2024. He was arrested last month, less than a year after his return. Sheriff Johnson explains why many return to the same area where they were once deported.
If you get...
Right. If you guys would agree, Win, Lose, or Rug said a ticket for driving without a license and your car gets impounded. They might let someone else drive it off. Right. Right. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says, jail, ticket, court, year of no driving on first offense, and you get points on your license. Let me ask you guys this. If you don't have a license, how do you get points put on your license? Right? So they're not putting points on these people's license because they don't have a license. Shout out to Casey. Casey says nothing. We get charged more. Facts. You got to go to court too. And if you don't make it to court because you don't have your car, that could land you in jail, right? Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Win, Lose, or Rug said driving without a license and insurance are both separate fines in California. Facts. That's a great point. Let me ask you guys this. What happens when you drive without insurance? What happens to you? What kind of punishment do you get for that?
A life started in Santa Rosa County, you get deported, and you come back in and you go to Southern California where you know absolutely no one. You have to start from scratch. Whereas if you come back here, you have all these people that know you and would probably employ you or give you a place to live. So that's why they come back.
In Pensacola, more than 6 of these arrests have occurred this year. All were found to be driving without a license, including 33-year-old Elpidio Alvarado Perez from Mexico, who allegedly re-entered the U.S. illegally after previously being deported not once, not twice, but 3 times more than a decade ago.
What should this individual's punishment be? And again, this is local news reporting this, right? Local news is reporting this.
Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons says the law is there for a reason.
Well, it tells me 2 things. One thing is that we live in a great country. People want to come here. The second thing that it tells me is that there's a process. And
yeah, shout out to Casey. Casey said 2 Perez's. Yeah, he got that last name like Little Caesars. Pizza. What's your last name? Pizza.
It would behoove them to utilize that process to legally enter the country, so that ultimately they can become a U.S. citizen. We have several issues with traffic crashes and some of those fatalities. Does it concern me? People are driving without a license, whether they're documented or not. That concerns me. Yes.
The penalty for re-entering the United States after deportation is a max 2 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
2 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Now, the $250,000 fine, you know, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know how much 2 years in prison will do. I don't know how much 2 years in prison will do. What's going on here? All right, anyway. We're about to look at this video where they talk about CNN accused of endangering ICE agents. It's going to be 2 videos. Now, we already know that we already know that the Democrats are endangering these ICE agents by utilizing you know, simp tactics, right? They also have this app, all right? And PB 5000 is not very happy about this app. So we're going to see what PB 5000 and Sean Hannity have to say about it.
On the heels of the huge Supreme Court ruling on Friday, the DOJ now continues to implement President Trump's immigration agenda. Earlier today, the department filed a lawsuit against sanctuary city policies in Los Angeles following the recent lawlessness and the riots that have plagued that city. And last week, the DOJ filed a complaint against Minnesota, challenging laws providing in-state tuition benefits to illegal immigrants.
Again, I want to... let's step back for a second, and I want people to truly think about, why are the Democrats doing this? What do you think? What do you think is the motive for doing this? What does this help? You got people here in the United States who are citizens whose families have been here forever, and people are broke because they can barely afford life. One of the reasons why they can barely afford life is because they can't afford to pay back their college loans, and you're making these people doctors, lawyers, engineers. What is this really doing? This is investment to create a future financial base in a lot of these people. So as they develop into voters, they'll also be able to develop and diversify into super PACs, develop and diversify into a entire economic ecosystem, to where not only do they have numbers to be able to vote, but they also have money and capital to be able to vote for their cause. And the Democrats want to be able to benefit from those dividends. Okay. The Democrats definitely want to be able to benefit from those dividends. Okay. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to use this as seed money to build their infrastructure. Okay.
Still, Democrats are going way out of their way to resist everything that President Trump does. One software developer has now created an app to warn people when ICE agents are nearby. And this morning, fake news CNN appeared to promote the app. How nice of them. Take a look.
I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of...
Now, I want you guys to understand what's going on here. We got a lot of innovations in technology, right? We got artificial intelligence, we got stable coins, we got blockchain, we got DeFi, we got real world assets, right? All kinds of technological developments. A lot of these technological developments can make you very wealthy, right? But instead of promoting the technological developments that can make you very wealthy, I got to ask this question. Give me the consensus in the chat. CNN is promoting the technological advancements that do what exactly? They do what?
Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether. You open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area. And then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free...
Now, why don't they make something like this, especially Democrats, right? Because a lot of this goes on in Democrat cities. Why don't they make an app like this that tracks gang violence? So maybe, you know, if you might be turning down this street, not going to turn down this street. It's a shootout going on right now. Let me ask you guys a question. People that live in Democrat areas and Democrat voters, what are they more in danger of? Harm by ICE agents or harm by criminals? Let me know in the comment section. Which one provides a greater threat?
iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data.
And meanwhile, President Trump is set to visit the grand opening of what is now being dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. That is a detention center in the Everglades for illegal immigrants. And the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is with us with more. Madam Attorney General, great to have you, as always. Let's start with these lawsuits, the one against Los Angeles and last week in Minnesota.
Yeah, it was Sean, where, you know, in Los Angeles, what LA was doing, and we also sued Karen Bass, the mayor, directly. What they were doing is they were prioritizing illegal aliens over American citizens, and you cannot do that. These sanctuary policies are the root of the cause of violent crime in our country.
Now, I want to ask you guys this question. How many people agree with what Pam Bondi, PB 5000, what she just said? Illegal immigration, quote unquote, is the root of crime in sanctuary cities. Now, it's good that she said that. We're going to put that one in our back pocket and we're going to bring it back up next time we do Crimecast.
In LA, we saw it with the riots. We had to send out DEA, FBI, ATF, our U.S. Marshals, jeopardize.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to Carlton. Shout out to Carlton, right? Hit the bell on, hey, hit the alert button on Carlton. Hit the bell on Carlton. Right. Shout out to Cameron. There, that's why we're putting it in our back pocket. And now, mind you, now that she said this, we can say the U.S. Attorney General said this. Don't ask me about it. Go ask her. She's the one that said that. Now, we got to deal with what Carlton said, right? Shout out to Carlton. Why is this? Carlton said these sanctuary cities have black mayors. Shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda said ABC in Minnesota always be carrying. It's legal here. Facts. Shout out to the Castle Doctrine states. Why is it that we got a really good show today? I might have to do see, like, this is what I'm saying. This stuff tends to it's like a month-long stretch, and then you got to circle the block and catch up on other stuff. Because this stuff just goes so fast, right? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
Their safety to help enforce the laws of Los Angeles. We are not.
Why do all these sanctuary cities have black mayors and they don't have immigrant mayors? Let's start there. Give me some explanation about that. We need to have an elaborate conversation about that. Shout out to the chat. We got 19 live viewers. We got 17 likes. We need 2 more likes to get to that 1-to-1 ratio. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do.
We're not going to protect illegal aliens over Americans.
Yeah, I don't think
no
it is
longer
either.
It's stopped.
I don't think it is either. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever seen a sanctuary city mayor that, quote unquote, looks like, quote unquote, Pam Bondi? I think Katie Hobbs, I don't know if those cities down there are sanctuary cities, but, you know, as far as like, quote unquote, Democrats, quote unquote, liberals go, the only one that I know that in some way, shape, or form somewhat resembles Pam Bondi, I would say Katie Hobbs. She's in Arizona. I'm saying, why is that? You don't see many quote unquote Pam Bondi looking people running these sanctuary, you know, states. You might have somebody that looks like, you know, that slob JB Pritzker. You know what I'm saying? Right? But why not? Why? Let's deal with that.
We have sued New York, Illinois, Colorado, New Jersey, and now we've sued Los Angeles, and we will continue to sue you if you do not follow the laws of our country.
Well, Mom Donnie, I noticed, made that pledge.
Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says, fall guys for the BS. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't know. Let me ask you guys this. we've been hearing, oh, she's a senator. Okay, yeah. No, I thought she's the governor. Isn't she the governor of Arizona? I could be wrong. Somebody correct me. Let me know. Shout out to Casey. Casey said I thought she was a senator. I'm almost certain she's a governor, but don't quote me. Somebody look it up and let me know. I listen. Shout out to Cameron. I know that we hear this narrative of these people are quote unquote chosen to be the fall guy. I'm going to put it like this. If these people are chosen to be a fall guy and you see this thing happen so many times, it materializes so many times, at some point, intelligence has to be questioned. Because what that means is you're just ignoring the patterns of reality. Me personally, I believe these people absolutely 110% with conviction. I believe that they are totally behind these causes. I don't think that there's any type of fall guy thing. And and if you ask me, I think that these people are just so dumb, they get themselves in these fall guy situations. Here's my question. If all of these people are chosen to be fall guys, how did Eric Adams escape? Because Eric Adams was doing this and then he stopped. And then when he stopped, like he wasn't a fall guy. When he stopped was when they tried to take him out. And then, he kind of, did his little New York thing. And, Trump was like, I'm going to give you a pass. If we continue to say that these people are fall guys, what this does is that it gives them a pass. It gives them a pass. These people are not fall guys. These people choose to kamikaze themselves. Okay, she is the governor. Okay, no, it's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. I appreciate it because I wasn't 100% certain. I thought she was, but I'm glad we verified. We know now. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think? I think that this idea of the quote-unquote fall guy is an outdated narrative and it's incorrect. I believe that these people are just crash test dummies. They're just self-custodied crash test dummies. There should be no extension of mercy to these people. Calling them a fall guy is an extension for mercy. What that does is that says that these people are just unknowingly somehow the victims of this circumstance of being taken advantage by the party that they chose to be a part of. Let me ask you guys this question. If you choose to marry a quote-unquote loose woman and she destroys your life and your emotions, are you a fall guy? No, you're not a fall guy. You're an idiot. You ignored all the signs. You chose her. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, right? You chose her. They choose to do this. A fall guy is a person that gets set up. How do you get set up when you dive head first? That's the question. People should ask that. Right. Shout out to Rhonda. I wouldn't disagree. Somebody hires them, right? And they know this, right? These people on their own make these stupid decisions, right? And then people give them a little bit of grace by saying, oh, they got taken advantage. They didn't get taken advantage of. They're idiots. They're dumb. And they got caught doing something stupid. And that's just what it is. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. I think that calling these people fall guys gives them undeserved grace, and it's outdated, and it's one of the things that keeps these people in office. It's a terrible talking point, and it needs to be buried, if you ask me. No one gets called a fall guy when they knowingly do something stupid, except for these politicians. They're given the grace by the people who are the main people who are supposed to critique them. It's the people that allegedly have such a harsh critique that says, oh, they were taken advantage of. If you call these people a fall guy, that's the same as we was tricked. Right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. What's the difference between being a fall guy, calling somebody a fall guy, and the "we was tricked" situation? No one was tricked. No one is a fall guy. Everyone is where they are as a result of circumstance and choice, whether good choice or bad choice. Now we have to ask the question: why do they look for people who make serial bad choices? If you decide to be a part of these people, you've already made repeated serial bad choices. So you're already following your established pattern. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
About not helping or following the law, we do have the supremacy clause in the Constitution. They do have jurisdiction, is my understanding. But isn't that the same for every sanctuary city or state?
Yeah, and what Dobby is saying in New York is utterly ridiculous. It's making mainstream anti-Semitism, Sean. This guy is out of control. What he's been doing, what he's been saying, he wanted to defund, do away with NYPD. It's so frightening. And the things about anti-Semitism should scare us all, given what happened with the Holocaust Museum.
So now, look, I want you guys, Pam Bondi, PB 5000, she's on her grift. She's on her grift. Right? Now, you see who's getting pandered to. Now, again, on the Democrat side, they talk about prioritizing migrants over American citizens. But on the Republican side, they prioritize a particular country, quote unquote, in the Middle East over American citizens. And they don't say, and nobody says anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you say something about it, they might debank you like how they did Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cameron. Cameron says, I think you're still a fall guy if you make these choices and go down with the ship and don't tell the world who is giving you orders and what they promised you for your corruption, but not a victim. If you ask me that, what's the difference between that and not? We're not going to snitch. No snitching. A fall guy is a person that's set up for a blame, right? They're set up for a blame. It's like a setup. We're going to set you up. You know what I'm saying? None of these people get set up is the thing. They don't get set up, right? Where's the setup? Who out of these people was ever surprised that any of this bad stuff happens to them? Nobody's ever surprised. We didn't see this coming. We saw it coming. You know what I'm saying? So again, I want you guys to understand the little worm language, the little sleazeball tactics that a lot of these talking heads and content creators use. When they call these people fall guys, they're in a backhanded way giving them grace for being a degenerate traitor, for being a degenerate coward. You know what I'm saying? None of these people are fall guys. All of these people do what they do and then they just get caught is what it is. None of these people get set up. Who are these people got set up? You know what I'm saying? No one got set up. You know what I'm saying?
Given what happened in Boulder, Colorado, and we just lost that victim, as you know, the 82-year-old victim who was firebombed. Given what happened in the UK with that concert saying all these anti-Semitic things, someone like that is very dangerous, not only for New York, but for our entire country.
Now, look, I want you guys to pay very close attention. Over there in California, they're burning American flags, right? So that's like anti-American sentiment. What's the punishment for that? So you have America going around, levying out punishments and divvying out punishments to people who engage in quote unquote one kind of anti-something, right? But when it comes to quote unquote anti-American sentiment, they only deal with migrants and deport them, but they don't deal with other people here in the United States who may have that same sentiment. So again, I want you guys to be clear. Trump may say America first, but neither party puts America first. They're all liars. They're running game. You know what I'm saying? Pam Bondi is on here whining. You know what I'm saying? And people like the little slick talk that she does with the immigrant stuff, but nobody really says too much about this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She's really laying it on right here. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, she's good at laying it on. You know what I'm saying? She's good at her job. That's why she got picked, right? But again, what people got to do is see the play. How many people see the play? If you see the play, put the eyes in the chat. Do the thing with the eyes. Dang.
So we're going to keep fighting for the citizens of these cities. If these mayors and these candidates for mayors won't do it, Donald Trump will, including Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz in Minnesota.
Let's talk about, I mean, the administration racked up a series of very powerful decisions last week, including the nationwide injunction. Let's go through the importance of those decisions and how it impacts the administration.
Well, it impacts everything President Trump has done, his agenda, everything he's trying to enact under his powers of the executive branch. It blocked our tariffs. It affected our military readiness. It affected immigration. It affected our foreign affairs. It affected us eliminating fraud throughout the government. No longer. They were allowing district court judges.
Now, speaking of eliminating quote unquote fraud throughout the government, my question for everybody watching right now is what has Doge been doing lately? What is Doge up to lately? What are they doing? What's going on with Doge? Anything going on with Doge? What are they doing these days?
Is to serve as emperors, basically, for the entire country. We've had 285 lawsuits against us. Of the 40 injunctions that have been issued against President Trump's administration, 35 of them were in 5 districts: Maryland, D.C., Massachusetts, Colorado, and Washington State. Not shocking to you, I'm sure, Sean, but no longer. It violated the
Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it, bro?
separation of powers on which our nation's government was founded, and they cannot seize power from the executive branch any longer. President Trump now can enact his agenda. It was a huge win. We've had so many big wins recently for President Trump because the American people elected him by an overwhelming majority and the Electoral College, and that's so important.
Facts. Shout out to DeAndre. That's one thing I'm not going to do is lie to y'all. That's one thing I'm not going to do is lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rhonda Love. Rhonda Love said, I don't know about Pam Bondi. I'm just saying, hey, she's a robot. You know what I'm saying? That's what I know about her. She's a robot. She's that chick from Terminator 3.
Because his message when he ran was crystal clear, and that's what he's able to enact now based on this great ruling with a 6-3 opinion authored by Justice Barrett at the Supreme Court. We also won transgender books, that parents have the right to choose whether their children have to read transgender books. I've seen some of these things. They are disgusting. No one would want to read these, especially a child in school. And now the Supreme Court confirmed that parents do have rights. That also came out last Friday. And as I mentioned before, we also sued.
Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Bondi is a great glazer. Make America glaze again. Facts. She the glazing goat.
Last week, Governor Walz in Minnesota for tuition for illegal aliens. You can't do that. Once again, these governors, these states are prioritizing illegal aliens over our students. They're treating our students like second-class citizens, and the Trump administration is not going to put up with it. It ends, and it ends now.
You know, we've had Tom Homan on many times on the program, and he's talked about a dramatic increase in violence against ICE agents,
Yes.
over 450%. I mean, really scary numbers. If you have or put out an application or a warning system that ICE agents are in the area, are you guilty of obstruction? Are you guilty of aiding and abetting in that case? And by the way, if you're a sanctuary state, does that status aid and abet just the very status of it?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. And people obviously are ICE agents, all of our federal agents who are working hand in hand on these task forces, are federal agents from the Justice Department, could be injured. He's giving a message to criminals where our federal officers are, and he cannot do that. And we are looking at it. We are looking at him, and he better watch out, because that's not a protected speech. That is threatening the lives of our law enforcement officers.
Shout out to Casey Malone. Casey Malone says she looks like she messes with black guys until she gets caught and makes false SA allegations. I disagree. I gotta disagree with Casey. I don't think she doesn't look like that to me. To me, she looks like a woman that has an adult toy box. You know what I'm saying? That's what she looks like to me. You know, and that that ain't no hate. You know what I'm saying? It's, sometimes people be busy. You know what I'm saying? These MWs be busy with their career. Trump got her doing a lot. So she much, she probably don't have time for too much. You know what I'm saying? People don't be having time to shower after a one night stand. So she probably got a little toy box that she carry with her.
Throughout this country, and shame on CNN. I just saw that for the first time when you showed it, that they're promoting that app. That's shame on them for doing that. That could hurt our law enforcement officers who are out there protecting them, protecting all of us every single day.
The only reason that we even drew any attention to it was because you were on the program. And
look, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Hey, Brooklyn Queen said, "You better watch out or I'm calling the manager." How many times did I call for the boss yesterday? Maybe they'll answer. Maybe they'll answer you if you call for him, Brooklyn Queen. I was calling the boss all stream yesterday and the bosses didn't answer the phone.
wanted to make sure that you did see it, because nobody watches CNN, to be very honest. And it's important that, but it does, these things do get out there in the ether, and people do know about them, and people, there's a lot of chatter and social media. And I want people to know that if they're involved in this, they are putting ICE officers' lives in jeopardy, or if they dox the homes of ICE officers, that scares me too. What happens to them?
That's right. You cannot dox you. We're finding you. People don't think that we can find you. We are finding you. We're
gonna find you. We're gonna find you so you can run and dox that. You can dox that. Run and dox that, homeboy. Hey man, she about to get on her Anton Dotson bag. We're gonna find you.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
She gonna be like, we're gonna find you for real.
That abundantly evident by the cases that we're making. No longer will crime be rampant in our country, and we will protect the great men and women in law enforcement. I feel like, Sean, what has happened to this country where our police officers are out there every day? There's no ordinary day in the life of a police officer. They're out there protecting all of us every.
Shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda says illegal aliens and undocumented Muslims get free everything, drive brand new SUVs, and never worked since they've been here for years and years. Now, here's my question for everybody, including Rhonda. How does that work? How do those funds flow through to those people? How does that happen?
Day. They're protecting CNN. They're protecting everyone. Yet these people are so against law enforcement officers, whether you're a candidate for mayor in New York City.
So again, right now, here goes something that this is what Carlton was talking about right here about the glazing, right? This right here. But anyway, so she is actually substantiating this idea that I have of Democrats being pro-crime culture. What she's saying is not wrong, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. How can you have a political party in a country and expect the country to be successful and prosper, and the political party is blatantly, right? Because we know all the politicians are pro-crime, but I mean, it's at a toxic level with the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? The Republicans are pro-white collar crime. The Democrats are pro-violent crime, right? So what she's saying here is not incorrect. And there's a pattern of this. Now, again, this is my question in regards to this pattern. What are people going to do about it? Shout out to Carlton. Yeah, see Carlton and PB 5000 making the same face. That's what Carlton was talking about right there.
Or you're some network promoting an app. You're warning people about that app and not to use it. And thank you for that.
Defund, dismantle, no bail, let the criminals go free, and fire the cops and hire social workers. That's the platform of the Democratic Party.
Sean Hannity swagger jacking, taking my talking points. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I originated.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, as always, thank you. Great job. And also great job getting these known terrorists that are in the country as well. Hey.
All right. Because the thing is that, these conservatives, they cannot take credit for those talking points, right? Because when it comes to the conservatives, we all know that the conservatives have racialized those talking points for a long time, right? They've racialized those talking points. These are the people that are, quote unquote, obsessed with race, right? These are the people that are, quote unquote, obsessed with race. Okay. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. How many people want to sit around with me, right, and watch a bunch of black people be outraged about this migrant issue? You guys want to sit around and and watch some people be outraged? And just put this over here real quick. I found a good video about Alligator Alcatraz. We're gonna be talking about this for a whole damn week. I ain't got time for this. I've been doing these 4-hour streams like I usually do, right? You know what I'm saying? And we still don't have time to cover all this stuff. There's just too much stuff going on. There's too much stuff going on all the time. We need the world to slow down a little bit, right? If y'all with me, y'all want the world to slow down a little bit, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, give me a thumbs down. Everybody want to look at some black people simp. Let's watch these. Let's watch these simps real quick. It's gonna be one immediately on the screen. You'll see him right here very shortly. Boom, there he is right there. There he is right there. Why don't they ever have migrants discussing migrant issues? Why are there so many easily hireable black people? See, because the thing is that like this idea of these people were just taken advantage of and yada yada yada, and you know what I'm saying? Like this, that idea cannot be used anymore. These people want to do this. Is the reality. These people want to do this. They want to be there. Right? If you guys would agree, these people want to be there, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree and you don't think that they want to be there, then let me know what the situation actually is.
Evidence that when it comes to President Trump's approach to immigration, the cruelty is not only the point, it is now the policy. We learned more this week about the treatment of Kilmore Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man erroneously deported to El Salvador in March and returned to the U.S. last.
How is this erroneous? How is this erroneous? Yep. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I remember him. Yep. Shout out to DeAndre. If you guys agree, if you guys agree with DeAndre, throw some rainbows in the chat. And again, I want you guys to understand, right? Understand this. Political channels in politics, they present and show as if they're speaking to their supporter base in a language that their supporter base understands. So shout out to the black males, right? How many black males we got in the chat? Shout out to the black males in the chat. This is how the Democrats see you and present you to the world. Here's my question. How many people cool with that? How many people cool with that? The Democrats do this. This is the kind of stuff that could get somebody deleted. See, because if you show the world, hey, this is how black men are, and you come at me the way that you would come at this soft batch cookie right here, that could put you in a very precarious situation. So they're really setting people up for serious physical harm or even worse by saying, here, we'll present to you a black man. Black men are moist and black men are soft. If not, the majority of black men are not moist and are not soft. But you've provided this image, And now what this image is going to do is this image is going to give a pass to the population at large to come at people like they're crazy, and then a bunch of wigs might mess around and get split. A bunch of people might end up leaking somewhere. A lot of liquidations might happen, like we in the market out here. They're setting people up to fail. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Hurricane IQ. What's good with it, Hurricane? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Also, hit the like button if you haven't. Now, before we get started, we got to ask this question. Shout out to the black males that's in the chat. How many of y'all got y'all hair looking like this? If you got your hair, and you rocking your hair like this, throw them fingernails, throw them nail polish in the chat, like what Brooklyn Queen just put up. If you got your hair like what he got, throw them nails in the chat. I'm saying.
With more evidence that when it comes to President Trump's approach to immigration, the cruelty is not only the point, it is now the policy. We learned more this week about the treatment of Kilmore Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man erroneously deported to El Salvador in March and returned to the U.S. last month to face federal charges. In a new court filing, his attorneys argue that during his time at the notorious SEETHE prison in El Salvador, he suffered psychological and physical torture. Also this week, the first detainees arrived at the immigration detention.
Now, I want you to pay attention. This fruitcake right here, he's more upset about this MS-13 member who got rightfully sent to prison than he is about, non-violent offenders in prison for weed and doing sentences right now. This dude is soft. He's a clown. And again, it's part of the Democrat tenets, right? Part of the Democrat tenets are pro-crime culture. We're going to simp for a criminal. We're going to get an individual who's in prison out of prison. We're going to show that this criminal, quote unquote, didn't do anything wrong, despite the fact that he's a criminal. Another one of Democrat tenets is what Democrat tenets are we will not reinvest in those who vote in us, who vote for us. And we will utilize a mirage of employees who appear to look like stereotypical Democrat voters to build infrastructure for the next wave of voters that we shift our focus to. This is how you have all black people at a round table talking about immigration. Let me ask you guys this question. I want you guys in the comment section to name anything that you think black people should prioritize over sitting around on MSNBC talking about immigration. If you ask me, this is one of the biggest wastes of time that anybody could possibly do. It's clearly not a waste of time for the people that's doing it because MSNBC are paying them big money, right? But I want everybody in the chat to name two things that they could be on there talking about that are more important than what Trump is doing with immigration, all right?
Center in the Florida Everglades that they've named Alligator Alcatraz, matching the rhetoric of the Trump administration. Trump, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis attended the opening of the facility that has been criticized over and over again as inhumane and cruel. We should all remember that someone detained by ICE is being held in civil, not criminal custody. That custody is not meant to be a punishment. It's not meant to be punitive. And yet, Trump says he would like to see more facilities just like this.
Well, I think we'd like to see them in many states, really many states. This one, I know Ron's doing a second one, at least a second one, and probably a couple of more. And, at some point, they might morph into a system where you're going to keep it for a long time.
On Thursday, a group of Florida state Democratic lawmakers were denied entry when they went to inspect the state-operated facility, just like members of Congress who have been attempting.
This dude is the Tyler Perry type. You know what I'm saying? You guys know I never liked Tyler Perry. Everybody was, everybody is like towing the line for Tyler Perry, and now people are trying to, distance themselves from Tyler Perry since he's been he-too'd, right? Tyler Perry got he-too'd, right? The first person to go down in the He Too movement. You know what I'm saying? But this dude is a Tyler Perry type. He's a Tyler Perry type. You know what I'm saying? This is old Medea dude right here. So he's a Mandea. Right? This dude is a Mandea. one of them cats from the griot type thing. One of them type weirdos. I'm saying one of them Howard University weirdos, a Glee Club type. You know what I'm saying?
To do the same at these federal facilities, these state lawmakers are allowed by
to do the same. I like my light purples. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, get like, are you serious? Shout out to Intuitively Wise. What's good with it? Yeah, talk about the box bros. Facts.
Federal law to provide oversight. According to the lawmakers, they were told they could not come in because of safety reasons. They were not told what those reasons were. And more importantly, if the migrants that were in...
They go to nails again.
Oh, they could not come in because of safety reasons. They were not told what those reasons were.
They go to nails again. The French tip king. The French tip king. Don't be masquerading around nothing like this, trying to masquerade this as something that has some type of relatability to me. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Who made this person this? Who made this person that? It's certain things that, like, back in the day when you were a child, your parents would have beat the brakes off of you for. They would have beat you to a pulp for doing certain things. How many people remember that? It's certain things that you just, certain lines you didn't cross because you knew your parents might get so upset they might just take you up out of here. That's what they would say. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out of it. I guarantee you no one's ever told him that growing up. This is the type of dude that do hair and got a whole bunch of female friends that are ratchet. There's never been a time in his existence where someone in his circle of female friends wasn't suffering from an STD, I bet. He's one of those dudes that got the tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no excuse for this. And my thing is that, you know, if people want to quote unquote present as this, present as that under your own identity. Present as that under your own identity and call it what you might want to call it. You know what I'm saying? You want to call it some type of phobia? Sure. Whatever. Sure. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It'll be phobia then. Yeah. He's got the tea. I got the tea. You know what I'm saying? This is a wannabe Tasha K right here. You can call him Tasha Gay, right? That's like Marvin Gaye, YouTube manual reviewer. Just saying.
Ha! And more importantly, if the migrants that were inside were also subject to those same concerns of safety. Joining us now, one of those lawmakers who was denied entry, Florida State Senator Chevron Jones, and a lawyer representing Kilmar Argrego Garcia and his family.
So you got 3 black dudes, or, you know, 2 verified black birthing people, and 1, I'm assuming, black dude, and the white. Where's the migrants at? Where the legal migrants at? Where the undocumented people at? Shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda said both his mothers made him like that. Right. It's that Edward Scissorhands action. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he's one of those people that be doing all kind of weird faces, I don't like, listen, man, it's just me. I don't really feel dudes being like taking a bunch of selfies all up in the camera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of the, and again, like, even people that claim to be straight, you know what I'm saying? Because claiming to be straight is the new claim. Right? Would you guys, first of all, would you guys agree? There's too many people out here that do suspect stuff and then they claim to be straight. And they think that they can cover it up by saying pause every 5 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're straight, Like, you just straight, and then sometimes stuff just come out crazy. Like, and if it just come out crazy, it just come out crazy. Like, you don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I said this wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? You'll never see me on no suspect type stuff. I don't care about saying no pause. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But he was definitely told that he was pretty. That's why it's so important. It's extremely important to raise your sons the correct way. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. MSNBC always has a job for some clowns like this. This is clown work right here. This is a whole circus right here. You know what I'm saying?
Simon Sandoval Motionberg. He is the head of litigation at Murray Osario. You know, I want to start with you, Senator, because we've seen this over and over where members of federal Congress are trying to go to these facilities. You guys tried to do the exact same thing, your job, providing oversight. What did you guys see? What were you hoping to see? What did they tell you when you were there?
Thank you so much for having me, Eugene. Yeah, so
women are always doing kind of weird stuff, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Remy Ma was one of them chicks. She'd be grabbing her crotch. Like, women that grab their crotch is kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? You grabbing your crotch. Ain't nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And that's just like these big chicks that be like, I'm too much woman for you. Yeah, right. You get it then. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, absolutely, yes. Finally, somebody that understands. Yes, you are indeed too much woman for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, 300 pounds is way too much woman for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand, like, a lot of times, like, a lot of these rebuttals. I'm just too much woman for you. That's why I'm staying away, because I don't want an injury. I don't want a career-ending injury. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like, you know, in the heat of a moment, and I try to do something wild, and I give myself an irreversible hernia, and I'm trying to have fun. Like, ain't nobody. I'm not trying to get no athletic injury while engaged in quote unquote passion. Like, I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? You get up there in age, you don't heal as quickly as you do when you're in your youth. I ain't got time to be off work all like that because I was having a wild night. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be explaining no crazy back injury. You know what I'm saying? She did that. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I got to do shit ergonomically efficient. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put into place the risk management. The risk management says to lift properly using your knees, right? You guys been to the OSHA. You guys been to the OSHA orientations, right? You lift properly using your knees. I don't have time for any of that other stuff. I don't know why women are saying pause nowadays. Why are they saying pause? Why do women say S my D? I don't understand that. What are you talking about? You referring someone to your husband? Like, I don't understand. Like, why do they do that? Why are men wearing beards and dresses? Like, they actually got like these particular clubs that are for particular people, and they have like beards and skirts night. Like, what? That don't even sound right. Yeah, shout out to Casey. Casey said, or when a woman would approach you and you're not interested, then they will call you out of your name. Right. Or they will call you, you know, the G word. No, I the way that you look, sorry, let me just correct that. I would actually call myself G if I was stimulated by you, because you're disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just trying to be funny. Like, we could go down that rabbit hole for a quick second. I don't know how I feel about women approaching men. To me, it's an automatic turnoff. I don't care, you know what I'm saying, if you look decent or not. You approach me, you know what I'm saying, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? What, you need a wingman or something? Like, you know what I'm saying, like you approaching people. You know what I'm saying? Like this is weird. Shout out to Hurricane. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Hey, I got the drops today. Today the drops working. You know what I'm saying? Hurricane says you going off today. Every day, bro. I'm in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? We kicking it. We bringing YouTube back. We about to have some fun. We going off. We about to go off every day. We about to go off every day and have a good time doing it. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all show Hurricane IQ some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Hurricane for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
You know, you gotta just you gotta ask questions like that. You know what I'm saying? Like all these, you know, these chicks be popping the balloons all the time. You know what I'm saying? Pop out of line and leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get rich out here. I've never known anybody to get rich. Right? The only people that I know who have gotten rich by getting married is women. I don't know any man who's gotten rich, you know what I'm saying, by marrying a woman. You know, what was that dude's name? The one that's with Taylor Swift. You know, Taylor Swift got a lot of money. Like, he gonna have a lot of money from that, but he was already rich to begin with. Like, Taylor Swift just mega rich. But besides that situation, who I don't know anybody who's doing it. Who's upgrading their life through the woman that they're with. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that for men. Men got to work hard to upgrade their life. They can't marry into upgrading their life unless the woman that they're with has a rich family. And even still, the rich family don't care nothing about the fact that you married somebody rich. They could be rich as hell. What's going to happen is if you don't produce, they're going to cut their daughter off. Because the expectation was for her to marry someone within their class. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Facts. If you guys agree with DeAndre said, Rob say, if you approaching me, you do this often, probably lose. Right. And my thing is, I'm not a dude that's outside of reality. I know that I'm not Denzel Washington out here. Right. So I have to ask, why are you approaching me? Me. In most cases, if you get approached, it's because a woman sees you as somewhat weak. Not because they're attracted to you. They think that they could get you for whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, if I'm there and Denzel Washington is there, it doesn't make mathematical sense for you to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a red pill chick and you actually know that Denzel Washington's not gonna holler at you, for one, because he's married, and for two, because he has his choice of whoever he could choose, and more than likely that choice ain't gonna be you, or he would have had you already. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, upgraded his life marrying her. How long had they been together? Was he with her when she was down bad? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hurricane IQ. Hey, I appreciate it. Make sure y'all show Hurricane IQ some love. Those some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for Hurricane IQ for funding the organization. Hurricane IQ just got again too. He gonna get the again.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes. Again!
Hey, who is Stedman? Shout out to Alonda. Who is Stedman? I don't know who Stedman is. I didn't even know Oprah had ever gotten married. Is she still married? What's going on with Oprah? What's going on with her?
Well, listen, under Florida Statute 94423, it gives us that authority to be able to go into any state facility. When my colleagues and I arrived at the facility, we were met by a captain at that time who stopped us and told us that we were not going to be able to go past this particular location.
Oh, you know, you missed it yesterday. On the stream yesterday, I had a Haitian call into my stream, and we were talking for quite some time. Where were you at then? You do know that my YouTube business partner is Haitian, right? Are you aware of that? Let's do Black Light Revelations. Let's do Black Light Revelations trivia. True or false? Black Light Revelations YouTube business partner is Haitian. True or false? In the chat, let me know. True or false? A wonderful Haitian gentleman called into my live stream yesterday. True or false? Thank goodness it was one of the times, quote unquote, Whitey wasn't watching. Right?
We stood there for quite some time while we asked him if he can go get a higher up. Considering the fact that in my 13 years, I had visited multiple detention centers, and this was the first time ever being stopped. Once the captain came and brought his higher up, the higher up called the Florida Department of Emergency Management. They let them know that we were present. They told us that it was unsafe for us to go there. So we went on to ask the question, then if it's unsafe for us to be there, then why is it that we have detainees that are there right now? You just allowed the president of the United States to go there 2 days ago, so now we can't go into the facility either. So we saw that this is not oversight. We saw that
Hey, look, hey, it's look, hey, shout out to Carlton. It's almost not fair how easy they make it. Right? Would you guys agree? It's almost not fair how easy they make it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media.
Only matters when it's respected. If everything inside is lawful, why are you blocking elected officials from being able to see it? Then, to make matters worse, the general counsel for the Department of Emergency Management all of a sudden could not hear us on the phone anymore, and she conveniently hung up on us while we were asking those questions. So that's what we was met with when we went 2 days ago.
And Simon, you're an attorney, and I'm trying to understand something here. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement website says that detention is not punitive. And I wonder how that squares with what we're seeing with this setup that the president and the administration, and there's even a sign, I don't know if you saw it in the B-roll there, that this place they're calling Alligator Alcatraz. How is that a
Look, shout out to Whitey. Whitey says, it's funny seeing FBA fight against blacks who aren't American. That actually helps white Americans. Well, here's my question. Why don't you go to those FBA channels that do that? Why do you come to my channel and say that? When have you seen me fighting against blacks who aren't American? Hey, one of my business partners is Haitian. Is something wrong with you, or did you not hear me? See, like this is the part where if we were face to face in real life, I'd put my finger on the side of your head and ask you, are you dumb? And you wouldn't do anything except for respectfully answer the question. So since I can't do that, I'm gonna ask you the best way that I can here. Did you not catch that part? Or is your learning disability taking over and causing you some issues? Let me know which one it is. But yeah, we don't do that over here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre. Shout out to Tark. Hey, make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for Tark for enforcing them likes. I appreciate it. We got 31 likes. That's what's good. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said, Rob, they complaining about not being let in these centers, but remember when they wouldn't let anybody in the Roosevelt or any of the facilities on the New York Island or in Chicago. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Uh-oh, we got the TCU in the house. I mean, it's getting bad out here. Hey, shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, Whitey, shouldn't you be recovering from last night's hangover from the 4th? Hey, you know, I heard that some houses got blown up in Texas because people was playing with fireworks on some wild stuff. Like somebody got deleted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Whitey. Whitey says his channel loves Trump and always panders for Trump while bashing black Democrats. I bash the white ones too. You ain't never seen me go in on ALC. It's something spectacular. You should watch it. I got a question for you, Whitey. Do you think that Democrat, quote unquote, equals being black? Is that what your parents taught you over a nice, wholesome bean casserole? Let me know. See, that's that bean casserole talk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to David Brown. I'm about to find that real quick. See, when I saw that, I knew I should have kept it. I'm gonna let this play.
A non-punitive facility.
Yeah, it's very clear that none of these measures that they're taking, especially Alligator Alcatraz, they're doing because it actually, increases their operational efficiency or operational capacity or any operational reasons at all. It really is about just scaring the pants off of immigrants, right? The same with using Guantanamo Bay. It's got to be extraordinarily costly for them to be sending folks to the Alligator Alcatraz as opposed to the detention centers that they already have built that are, relatively proximate to the cities where the courthouses are. Just like it's got to be extraordinarily expensive for them to be flying folks over to Cuba to maintain them at Guantanamo Bay. The reason is not any operational reason. It's just the message that it sends to immigrants. What they're trying to do is just scare the pants off of people. And I'm afraid to say that it's actually working.
Yeah. Senator, the Miami Herald reported about something that I find extremely shocking, and I think other people will too. It's about the possibility that minors could be sent to this new facility. A 35-page report obtained by the Herald and Times outlining the state's initial draft of minimum requirements for the site shows the level of planning that went into building the facility in an 8-day span. 8 days. The undated records point to a myriad state and federal regulations that facility had to meet before it could open and suggest that there is a possibility children could be among the detainees who could be sent to the facility. So that means that in the preparation of this, according to this reporting, they had to think about, if a kid's here, what are the kinds of ways that we protect this? And in the same kind of 8-day span, all they've been talking about is the Burmese pythons that are there, the alligators that are there. And if you dare leave, where are you going to go, according to Ron DeSantis? You're going to get snatched up by these alligators. How do you square that? And what does this mean for your state?
You know what's funny, Eugene? Well, not even funny. You know what's baffling to me is that in 8 days, how a facility built when we are still dealing with the rebuilding after 2 hurricanes in the state of Florida.
Shout out to Hurricane. Yo, I appreciate you, bro. Hurricane did it 3 times, man. Make sure y'all throw some trees in the chat. Some trees, right in the chat for Hurricane. Hurricane said, call Anton, please. Anton, what you think about Whitey?
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
We could ask a couple other people they opinion about him. Megatron, what's up?
I've got morons on my team.
Hey, Megatron said, I got morons on my stream. Hey, Megatron said, I've got morons on my stream. You know what I'm saying? Cobra Commander, what's up?
Morons! I have morons on my payroll! Idiots! I'm surrounded by incompetent idiots!
Well, there you go. Jury's out. Oh, here go another one. We got to ask. Now, listen, he says that I don't, that I'm xenophobic and I don't mess with, what I'm saying, people that's not Black American, which is clearly not true. You know what I'm saying? My business partner is, like I said, a Haitian American. Shout out to my man, TD. Right. But here goes another non-FBA brother, you know what I'm saying, that I rock with, that I promote. And he's going to ask Whitey a question right now.
Why are you gay?
I don't know. Why, Whitey? Why? Why?
Why are you gay?
Come on, let's go. Let's get the answer. Now, we got to shout out Hurricane IQ for funding the organization. We appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Brooklyn Queen said, do anybody got bass in their voice? Not on that panel. Not on no panel with somebody wearing some fingernail polish. No, ma'am. None there. But yeah, we're gonna take a break from that real quick. We're about to look at this is the stuff that I be talking about sometimes stuff is just too dumb. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes stuff is just too dumb. It's unfortunate that this stuff happened, but how do you fireworks so much? You know what I'm saying? 4th of July that you blow up the place. You know what I'm saying? You blow up the place, and like it's like C4, like you just like a demolition. Shout out to Lehman Lucas. Lehman Lucas said, bro, you and KG stop rocking with each other. No, absolutely right. Exactly. Shout out to KG, right? He's not FBA. You know what I'm saying? That right there is just your boy. You know what I'm saying? That's just your boy saying that all we do is bash non-FBA people over here. Bro, I don't spend any time bashing non-FBA people. You know what I'm saying? And except for Akon. You know what I'm saying? If you getting bashed over here, you just getting bashed. It don't matter who you are. Anybody can get it. If you're intellectually dishonest, or you're contradicting yourself, or it makes absolutely no sense that people rock with you, you getting bashed over here. I don't care about none of that. You could be FBA and still get flamed up over here. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Now look at this. This is ridiculous right here. 1 dead and multiple homes set on fire in Paca'ima fireworks explosion. Like, what the? How does this even happen?
Fireworks safety remains a concern after several incidents have sprung across the country. In Los Angeles, one person is dead and 5 people injured after an accidental fireworks explosion.
Shout out to my man DSB. What's good with it, bro? Right. And shout out to Casey Malone. We talk about current events, right? And we talk about dumb people in the chat. Right? Look. Shout out to the chat. Who's today's dumb person in the chat? Write the name in there. Or you can use one of them circles with the color. Right. Shout out to Carlton. All bashing matters. Shout out to Alonda. Alonda said, I ain't gonna lie, you be going in on Roland Martin. I forgot about Roland Martin. I've never gone in on Roland Martin on the basis that he's not a Black American, though. You know what I'm saying? When I've gone in on Roland Martin, I've gone in on Roland Martin because of arguments that he's made. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to TCU. TCU AOC said, hey, did somebody say Whitey? Look, the white man up in here. You know what I'm saying? The white man up in here. Oh man, shout out to Tarek. Tarek said I hadn't heard of the 4th explosions down here until now. It's been mainly flooding in Central Texas right now, bro. It was literally this is a bad choice of words, but we're gonna go there anyway. Literally, it was lit. Like, look at this.
Set multiple homes on fire. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has that story.
With the July 4th holiday in full swing, a series of dangerous fireworks accidents have officials on high.
That's ridiculous. Like, that shit looked like a volcano. Like, what the hell kind of fireworks was they using? A Sarmat? Like, did they get that from Russia? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Fireworks safety remains a concern after several incidents have sprung across the country. In Los Angeles, one person is dead and 5 people injured after an accidental fireworks explosion set multiple homes on fire. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has that story.
With the July 4th holiday in full swing, a series of dangerous fireworks accidents have officials on high alert. In Pacoima, California, just outside Los Angeles,
some fireworks did this. Fireworks did this. Like, really? Really?
30-year-old man is dead and 5 others injured after fireworks inside a detached garage.
They blew up they blew up the whole neighborhood. Like, man, are you for real? Like, this is some Three Stooges level shit right here. Like, this is not, it's not funny. This shit look like a war zone. What kind of fireworks was you using? Man, somebody showed me this shit. I was like, man, get this shit away from me, man. Get the fuck out of here. Like, how did they one dead, multiple homes set on fire in Pacoima fireworks explosion? Was these nuclear fireworks? Like, what kind of fireworks did this shit?
Exploded, setting 4 homes on fire. Multiple animals were also hurt. You can see the smoke billowing out of the neighborhood. More than 100 firefighters battling flames on the roof after the fireworks erupted.
These fireworks were raining all upon the neighborhood.
Outside
What in the hell kind of shit where did they buy? They need to do a whole investigation on this. Wherever they bought these fireworks from, they need to get shut down. Where did they bought a force of destruction? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said they got them illegal fireworks homes. Right.
Fireworks erupted.
These fireworks were raining all upon the neighborhood.
Outside Sacramento, California, 7 people unaccounted for after a fireworks explosion in a pyrotechnics warehouse. Authorities beginning a recovery effort. Sienna Ruiz expecting her first child with her boyfriend, who was working inside at the time. It was his first day on the job.
I'm just praying to God some way, somehow, that, they're okay, that they're just unable to communicate with us at the moment, or that they're trying to find a way.
Near Oakland, police say illegal fireworks exploded, leaving 2 people in critical condition.
The head of the family was on.
Like, what? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, man, what are you doing? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, like, people just can't, like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on here?
On the floor bleeding, and there was a lot of smoke, and I saw
Look, listen, man. It's a bunch of nobody told them, like, here in the United States, we don't use Molotov cocktails as fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually you go to a store and buy them. But what we do, how we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't use Molotov cocktails as fireworks. That we just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that's not how we get down. It is sad. Shout out to Carlton. It is sad. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, you sit there and look, fireworks? Really? Fireworks did that?
Your son crying, panicking.
And back here on the ground in Pacoima, officials had to address a gas leak as well as live electrical wires that fell as a result of the explosion. Officials warning, leave the fireworks to the professionals, especially on July 4th. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's bad advice. Yeah, leave the fireworks to the professionals. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, leave the fireworks to the professionals. Give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, and people should have freedom to do whatever they want to, and give me a thumbs down. This is, and the thing is that it's a fireworks accident like this every year. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, when I think of fire, this is why it's so funny to me, right? Let me explain myself so I don't seem too bad. When I think of fireworks, like, I'm thinking of like sparklers and bottle rockets and firecrackers. I'm not thinking about whatever kind of dynamite sticks they were using. I'm thinking about little stuff like, did you buy from the gas station or something? You know what I'm saying? This the same. How many accounts you could, if you would actually stop using your YouTube accounts for comment section trolling and actually made content about them and not slanderous videos about me, but actual content, you could actually have some money because you got about 30 accounts. You know what I'm saying? X-Clan said, love your channel. I'm FBA, but Rob, there are a few bad FBA on YouTube that do seem to pander for the Orange Devil. I wouldn't disagree with that. The main one, the main one is Officer Tatum. Hey, look, we gotta put the lie detector in the chat. Any lies detected? The main Trump pandering FBA boss, Officer Tatum. I ain't got nothing else to say. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We don't shut it down. Hey, mic drop.
The fireworks warehouse in Yolo County, human remains have been found. Recovery efforts are expected to continue through the weekend. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras is live in Esparto tonight, and we're now
look at it decimated. Look at that, man. It decimated this entire building. Some firecrackers. Shout out to Jesse. No lies detected. See. Shout out to ALC. See.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras is live in Esparto tonight, and we're now starting to uncover the connections both law enforcement and fire officials have to that building that exploded, right?
That's right. And things haven't changed much in the 3 days since the tragedy, at least from what we can see. First responders still have this massive area blocked off. This is still as close as we're allowed to get. But beyond the barricades here, a half-mile away, we know remains are still being recovered. The blast hit close to home for this entire small Yolo County community, and even for the first responders who are.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Carlton. Yo, that's a bomb. Hey, the ATF is going to investigate this. If whoever gets caught and goes down for this, man, they are in trouble. Like, man, they are in trouble. And like all the property damage and people died behind this too, man, they are done. It is over for them. You know what I'm saying? It is over for them.
We're now doing that heartbreaking work.
Tuesday's deadly explosion at a fireworks warehouse in Esparto left Johnny Ramos' 2 sons and 5 others missing. And this morning, more pain.
Hey, look. Hey, X-Clan gonna say, I don't say names, but I'm about to say these names. Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think that Larry Hoover and Eric Adams are FBA agents that work for Trump? I'm curious. What y'all think? Y'all let me know in the chat too. It's not just for X-Clan. I want to know what y'all think. Hey, it did look like a lot of migrants was over there in them areas. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said ICE agents. They're going to do Operation Fireworks. You know what I'm saying? ICE agents said he should be careful because people may use fireworks against him. Yeah, they should. See, AOC, you understand me. This is why I was laughing, because it's so over the top. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, man, that's why I said when they showed me that, I was like, man, get out of here, man. No fireworks do that, man. Get that shit. Man, get going with that bullshit. Talking about some damn fireworks did this. Somebody lit up a bomb over there is what happened. And it was like, then I like investigated it further, and I was like, man, what? Fireworks actually did that?
My life, at the same time, I did.
No parent could ever prepare for his form of pain.
Supposedly they find 2 bodies, one yesterday, one today, and they now checking another place.
It took 3 days until the coroner's office could enter the rubble. On Friday, they announced the discovery of multiple unidentified human remains.
It's all my life, and I took kids, and they don't care, you know. Everything is mystery right now.
So see, as you guys can see, it may seem like we're off topic, right? It may seem like we're off topic, but we are still within the realms of undocumented, clearly. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. We are clearly still within the realms of undocumented.
Mysteries like, how did this happen? How could a stockpile of so many fireworks shows be stored in one place and suddenly detonate? ABC 10 learning Friday that Yolo County Lieutenant Sam Machado's home, just feet from the blast site, was destroyed. Federal licenses tying him to a gun sales business at the address, according to an ATF search. Craig Cutright, a former volunteer firefighter with the Esparto Fire Protection District, operated next door under the business Black Star Fireworks. The Fire Protection District confirming that Cutright is no longer an active volunteer. Cutright told ABC 10 Tuesday night that the San Francisco-based Devastating Pyrotechnics also operated out of the Esparto address. Records show both companies hold valid licenses with the state fire marshal.
I don't have no words.
For Ramos, now just memories and so many questions.
Yeah, I'm a hard worker, good kid. They graduated from high school in San Francisco. They're supposed to be fight with the fire. They don't fight. They don't do nothing.
Shout out to DJ Elmo. What's good with it, bro?
And we are learning tonight that the local jurisdictions had not permitted this fireworks facility in the first place. Adding to the frustration for families is the silence from authorities. No press conferences today. No one made.
Look, why are the authorities so silent about this? Man, I don't know, man. Yeah, hey, look, I wouldn't disagree. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen, we gotta put our tinfoil, like TD was saying yesterday. We gotta put our tinfoil hats and coats on. Brooklyn Queen said that's a lot of migrants consolidated into one area in the building. I'm just saying, right.
Available for an on-camera interview, and these roadblocks, well, they haven't moved for days. Live in Esparto tonight, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
A difficult time for so many families who just want answers. Keep us posted as you learn more, Gabriel. Thank you. I'll keep in mind, we did reach out to Sam Machado, Craig Cutright, and the attorney representing Devastating.
Wait, did he say Craig Cutright?
Time for so many families who just want answers. Keep us posted as you learn more, Gabriel. Thank you. I'll keep in mind, we did reach out to Sam Machado, Craig Cutright.
Man, that's a wild last name to have. That's a wild last name to have. We're going to end that right there. We're going to end that one right there. How you going to have a last name Cutright? Like, what? Yeah, we done with that. Hold on, I got this other video over here. that right there is a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much, like, for real. Man, could you imagine, like, in middle school and high school, his nickname was probably Cuck. Hold on.
Breaking news, explosions, flames, and fireworks gone wrong. An illegal fireworks explosion rocks a Pacoima neighborhood, sending a large blaze in the sky.
And all new at 6, we're getting our first look at the damage from Air 7. You can see that home.
Look at that. Like, look at that. Come on, man. Fireworks did that? Come on, man. What kind of fireworks did this?
suffered extensive damage. Looks like neighboring buildings severely damaged as well. This was quite a blast. We've learned also that a man died in this explosion. This morning, a woman remains in the hospital with critical burns. 4 other people suffered smoke inhalation but declined to go to the ER. The explosion destroyed 4 homes. It damaged 2 others. Overnight.
Now, you know why, right? You know why they didn't go to the ER. You know why they didn't go to the ER. Why didn't they go to the ER, y'all? Why didn't they go to the ER?
Firefighters at the scene say they have seen an alarming number of people selling dangerous and powerful illegal fireworks out of their garages this year. Seems to happen every year. Firefighters are encouraging people to go see professional fireworks shows this 4th of July.
Yeah. All right, let me see. All right, so let's get back to the real cuck rights. Nah, you know what? Let's take a break from them because they're not talking about nothing. We come back to this nonsense they talking about. Let's look at something else here. We're gonna look at this. We're gonna. I just want to show you guys this headline, and we'll look at this at some point. Remember, I was telling y'all about. They said that Kristi Noem has said somebody was a cannibal. Why won't ICE comment on Kristi Noem's cannibal stories? The Homeland Security boss said ICE deported. It's just going to be too much. It's just going to be too much, man. It's just going to be too much. Hey, what is the self-eating cannibal? What's a self-eating cannibal, guys? The Homeland Security boss said that ICE deported a self-eating cannibal, but provided no evidence. This plays into centuries of racist fantasies. So I want you guys to see we're supposed to be offended by this. You know what I'm saying? What is a self-eating? Kristi Noem is just supposed to see. This is what happens. She's just supposed to sit there with the hat on and the skimpy outfits and not say anything. This is what happens when the cheerleaders start talking for the team. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. You know what I'm saying? Shut up and wear them skimpy outfits we told you to wear. You know what I'm saying? Look like the Laura Croft Ice and shut up. As soon as they open their mouth, everything all messed up now. It's all messed up. Kristi Noem has repeatedly claimed that the U.S. government deported a cannibal that ate other people, and then while on a flight from the U.S. Woo! Kristi Noem has repeatedly claimed that the U.S. government deported a cannibal that ate other people, and then, while on a flight from the U.S., became so deranged that he began to eat himself. That cannibal said, "Take me back, take me back, take me back, or I eat my arm." You know what I'm saying? Put him in handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? Did he just start eating his arm? Like, you can't make this up, man. Like, you cannot make this up. Hey, shout out to DSB. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you guys show DSB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for DSB. For funding the organization. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
You can't make this up, man. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, cannibal story. The SLC24A5 family are the original cannibals. In medieval Europe, they practiced corpse and medical cannibalism. Yeah, you know, and then there's, you know, Vlad the Impaler, not to be mistaken for DJ Vlad, right? Yeah, that shout out to TCU. Shout out to TCU. Yeah, that's that frontal cortex action. You know what I'm saying? That's that frontal cortex action. Live action frontal cortex in play. You know what I'm saying? So it says Nome first shared the dubious tale late last week during an interview with Fox News' Jesse Waters. The cabinet secretary said that a U.S. Marshal offhandedly told her about a cannibal on a plane load of illegals. When Nome asked, what do you mean he was a cannibal? The Marshal replied, he started to eat his own arms. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Look at this. They said he started to eat his own arms. Look at this. Look, watch this. Watch this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Look.
You calling these guys bad hombres? They really are. I was talking to a U.S. Marshal just yesterday, and he was talking about the fact that they were deporting a plane load of illegals, and one of them was a cannibal. And he kind of said it offhanded. And I said to him, what do you mean it was a cannibal? And he said, well, we put him on the plane, put him in his seat, and he started to eat his own arms. He was such a deranged individual. This is the kind of people that President Trump is getting off of our streets, people who are murderers and rapists and are deranged individuals.
And they eat their own arms.
That we are working to get out of this country as fast as possible. So Alligator Alcatraz is the future.
Was this bad hombre like handcuffed to something and he was trying to chew his arm off so he could escape? Or was he just...
Hey man, look. And then why they got the picture? Why they got the picture of the alligator with his mouth fully stretched open? Like, come on, man. Hey, Carlton said he thinks that she's capping. Yo, if you think that she's capping, throw some caps in the chat. She capping?
Something and he was trying to chew his arm off so he could escape? Or was he just hungry?
You know, what bothered me the most was that this U.S. Marshal just said it like it was normal. These are the kind of people they have to work with every single day when they're deporting people out of this country. So they had him, put him on the plane and had him in shackles for the flight because he was such a dangerous individual. When he got back to his seat and put another individual in the seat near close to him, he said he literally was eating his own arms. That for him, he was, that is what he did. He called himself a cannibal, ate other people, and ate himself. That
she's straight lying. Like, I'm sorry, she's lying. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said this is so sloppy and ridiculous. Right. Like, right. And she's lying, bro. Like, she's straight lying.
him, put him on the plane and had him in shackles for the flight because he was such a dangerous individual. And when he got back to his seat and put another individual in the seat near close to him, he said he literally.
Hey, this is one of those one time at band camp stories. Yeah, shout out to DJ Elmo. Facts. If you guys agree with DJ Elmo, same tactic as Springfield, they eating the dogs. Right. Right. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now look, we could talk, like, you know, we could talk about this kind of stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Sometimes certain stuff, it just be going too far. Like, this is too far. This is too much. This is why you don't let the cheerleaders do public relations. You know what I'm saying?
clearly was eating his own arms. That for him, he was that is what he did. He called himself a cannibal, ate other people, and ate himself. That well, they had to take him off of the flight and get him medical attention, and then he went back into the system. But they have what our law enforcement do, what our ICE officers and Border Patrol, these marshals, what they do is God's work. It really is.
She's straight lying. Straight lying. I'm sorry, man. She's straight lying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's hilarious though. But it's straight. But you straight up lying. Like, come on, man. Like, get out of here. So yeah. So that's good enough, right? This is interesting. This is an interesting article, actually. We should actually take a deep dive into this article. But we will, but it has to come later. They're eating the arms, right? They're eating the legs. You know what I'm saying? That's what JD Vance gonna say in 2028. They're eating their arms, they're eating their legs. Eat the arms, eat the legs. Oh man. They're eating the arms and eating the legs. Eat the arms, eat the legs. Let's see what she's talking about.
The immigration officers have been putting their lives on the line to get dangerous, illegal immigrant criminals off of our streets. Since President Trump took office, ICE has been committed to removing the worst of the worst. We've seen them arrest hundreds of illegal.
Hey, my man in the second picture is funny. He like, damn. Hey, man, what's up with my dude in the second picture? He like, Right. That look, shout out to Dion. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's you don't need, and this is what I said with the cats and dogs thing. There's enough evidence that supports factual arguments on dealing with this situation. You don't have to make stuff up. You don't have to make stuff up. When you make stuff up, you cartoonize it and you take away from the seriousness of it, and you decay your own credibility. You know what I'm saying? You decay your own credibility. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching, man. I really appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, what's funny is that they show the migrants at the border looking like zombies using the Walking Dead B-roll footage. Bro, you ain't never lied. We had said that before in one of the older streams.
Committed to removing the worst of the worst. We've seen them arrest hundreds of illegals with violent criminal histories.
Right.
Like this Yemeni national who
We about to start. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. We about to start calling him Whitey Hanna. I want my truth stretched. You know what I'm saying? I want my truth stretched. Oh man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
who was picked up in Detroit, officials say that he has several previous convictions, including second-degree murder. Or this Dominican national arrested for alleged fentanyl trafficking. Or this Guatemalan national who was charged with 3 counts of aggravated rape of a child in Massachusetts. So while ICE agents are removing these illegal
Hey, that's disgusting. Now, let me see something real quick. Okay, so yeah, that kind of reminds me of this. Now, shout out to old boy in the chat, right? Because old boy in the chat is he's gonna feel some type of way about this, right? And I was actually gonna make this as a standalone video for Crimecast, but upon further review, it seems appropriate for undocumented. I'm gonna let you guys take a look at this headline here, and I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about that? Kentucky mother bashed 6-year-old's head with hammer, told son, "Let me finish her." What? 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 Now, you know. A mother in Kentucky allegedly bashed her 6-year-old daughter's head with a hammer, and during the assault, she allegedly told her son, who attempted to stop her, "Let me finish her." Louisville, they call it Louisville down there in Kentucky, Louisville, right? Louisville Metro Police Department responded to the home on Thursday after they received a report of a girl attacked with a hammer. All right, people reported. The child was found suffering from multiple skull fractures and brain bleeds. That's horrible. The young girl was taken to a hospital where she remained in critical condition 4 days after the attack. Zainab Abdi, who was 40, was charged with attempted murder for the incident. She reportedly became overly angry and struck the victim in the head with a hammer an unknown amount of times. And this was her own child. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was her own child that she did this to. Look at this. Look at this. Father who deleted infant son by sealing him in a bucket of laundry detergent. Why would you do it? This middle school principal admits to raping child under 16 for years. Again, why would you do it? A homicide unit spoke with the 6-year-old's brother, who said that while restraining his mother after the assault, she stated to him, "Let me finish her," while attempting to return to the victim, People magazine reported. Now, how does this qualify for undocumented? Well, what is a Zainab Abdi? I don't know where the origins of Zainab Abdi is from. You know what I'm saying? But I know if she is undocumented after doing something like that, she's for sure going back. Right? If you guys would agree, if she's undocumented after doing something like that, oh yeah, you're for sure going back. Because that's that kind of thing right there. That's exactly what they're talking about. That's exactly what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy. I couldn't imagine. Shout out to the people who are parents. I couldn't imagine doing that to my child, man. Like, I don't care how angry I get. One of the most destructive things that I could think that could possibly happen to me mentally is if I ever witnessed something harmful happen to, one of my children. How could you be the person that does that to your kid? Like, I don't understand. Like, I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Carlton said that name sound like a crypto company. She probably do got a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's going to get compensated. It's about to go to the United States Bitcoin strategic reserve now.
Monsters. They've constantly faced danger themselves. ICE says assaults on agents are up over 500% this year. But instead of protecting the brave men and women working for ICE, CNN is out with this. An article touting a brand new app that alerts people of ICE sightings in their area. Now, that obviously puts agents at risk, and it gives these dangerous illegals a chance to get away. ICE says CNN never reached out for comment. And acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says this in a statement, quote, CNN's promotion.
Now, how many people remember back in the day when they used to have what was called, quote unquote, fuzz busters? You got to be somewhat, quote unquote, aged and experienced to know what a quote unquote fuzz buster is. Fuzz busters are an outdated technology. And the reason why they're an outdated technology is because now, we got like navigation and, what I'm saying, like we got all these other things, right? But the early forms of these things were called, quote unquote, fuzz busters. Right? And a fuzz buster was also called a radar detector. And the radar detectors would let people know that police were around in situations where they may be speeding. Let me ask you guys this question. If you got caught with a fuzz buster, what was the punishment? Now, yeah, I don't disagree with that. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said if I were an ICE agent, I would sue Apple for hosting that app on their platforms. If I was Trump, I would tariff ICE. Or I would tariff Apple. Right? I think they already did tariff Apple, but I would tariff them again.
Of an ICE spotting app is reckless and irresponsible. They are willfully endangering the lives of officers who put their lives on the line every day and enabling dangerous criminal aliens to evade U.S. law. Is this simply reckless journalism or overt activism? And DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin reacted earlier.
Now, listen. Now, shout out. Where's that dude that was in here? The dude named Whitey, the dude that was talking crazy. Now, I didn't even know about this, right? But one of my coworkers told me, did you see all them Haitians in New York City? I guess they like rolled up on ICE like 1,000 deep. How many of y'all heard about that? Now, you know, if I was as quote unquote diaspora-phoric, I guess you would say, as a lot of these people try to quote unquote make it out to be, man, I would have did all type of roasting and talking crazy about that situation. I told you I don't mess with law enforcement, man. A lot of people be like, yo, I support ICE. I don't mess with law enforcement, man. I don't mess with law enforcement. I'll tell you one thing. My dude showed me a video of like 10,000 Haitians in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, hey, glad I ain't over there, and just kept it pushing. Yeah, look up videos on YouTube. Like it's like Haitians versus ICE, New York City. And it plays out a lot different than the narrative that you get on quote unquote Twitter Spaces. I'll put it that way. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it that way. They was in Flatbush. Anybody from New York know, you know what I'm saying? They was from Flatbush. I think they was in Flatbush, Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to Tark. Tark said, Rob, I remember back in the day when cars going the opposite way would flash their lights at you just to let you know the police were nearby. Right. And you could they also used to, people would get in trouble for that too. There was a penalty for that. You know what I'm saying? There was a penalty for that. So let's continue. Let us, like a salad, right? Let us continue.
For this morning on America's Newsroom.
Examples like these apps are absolutely obstructing justice. What our ICE enforcement officers are doing is enforcing the rule of law. If these rioters, these activists, and these politicians don't like the law, they should change it. Don't go after our ICE law enforcement. It's disgusting, it's wrong, and it's un-American.
Professor, she said it perfectly. It is un-American and it is frightening.
I think it's worse. I think it could be criminal. You have an app here that's being used to target federal officers who are doing their job. We just talked in the first segment about how much we hate the idea that this guy, the shooter, was targeting, right, firefighters.
Hey, look, when y'all make me great and I can get a studio like this and we have like a little round table, right? And we have some, you know, quote unquote contributors. Here go my question. Because you know what, I'll be sitting right there. Who should the other 4 contributors be? Who should the other 4 contributors be? Let me know. We're gonna have to do a live stream about that topic on Reacts.
App is going to make things like that more possible. How is this any different? This is like the cyber equivalent of the people who are trying to block ICE offices in downtown LA, the people who are setting cars on fire in front of the ICE building so the agents can't get out and perform their missions. And so I think this person should be investigated. I think the app should be brought down by the government.
Hey, shout out to Jay Lord. Jay Lord said, I'm ordering my Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts this week. I should be a contributor. Hey, look, I wouldn't have a problem with Jay Lord being a contributor. Me and Jay Lord them got into some heated like back and forth on here, and Jay Lord still comes back. I could that's workable right there. Like you gotta have that where you could go in on each other and then you know what I'm saying, still be able to work. I wouldn't turn Jay Lord away. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't turn Jay Lord away. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said TD, AB, and Brooklyn Queen. Yeah. You know, TD ain't gonna, you know, TD scared the TD scared of the I'm gonna just put it like this. TD is worried about the quote unquote algorithmic consequences, you know what I'm saying, of too much close association. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he would, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he would be down for all that. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like Rob taking the property value down and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I might have to play like some clips or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre. We lit TD, Kid Gravity, Grind and Motivate. Yeah, that'd be cool. Shout out to J Lord. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would get all y'all, man. We do it like reacts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tarek. Tarek said, when will your next reacts be? It was supposed to be a while ago, but I think I overslept. Ain't that what happened, AOC? I think I overslept. Whatever happened with the last reacts, it was my fault. You know what I'm saying? That it didn't go down. I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually, if I get to, this is what I'm saying. See, when you a one-man show, it's kind of hard, right? But I want to try to get through all of this immigration content. And then once I'm able to get through that, then I'll be able to get some of the other stuff. There's some crypto stuff that I want to talk about too. But I got to find that YN content though. I got some, yo, shout out to AOC. We should do a video to that video that I texted you. You know what I'm saying? The body shaming video. Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said, I'll be the guy you bring in to talk about the Galactic Bros and stuff like that. Yeah. Hey, I'm with it. You know, the reacts, that's the community, kick it spot. Like that's the lounge. You know what I'm saying? That's the lounge. You know what I'm saying? I got to get that channel back monetized too, man. YouTube, like I said, man, YouTube is on some sucker stuff, man. They got my other channel with a permanent warning. Like, how you get a permanent warning? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I told you that video was funny, bro. Didn't I tell you you would die laughing when you watched it? Hey, he said, you fat. Yeah, I'm body shaming this ninja right now. I was like, man, what? He said, yeah, that's right. This capo, I'm body shaming this nigga right now. You know what I'm saying? This fat nigga Mace. You know what I'm saying? That boy look like he ain't been in the gym in the last decade, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I'm body shaming this fat nigga right now. Oh man, I had this old, like when I used to didn't care about YouTube and I just like posted stupid stuff on YouTube like it was like it was social media. I had this old video. From like, it was like from like 2000. Oh, it was like from 2005. Me and my brother had made these videos acting like we was in a Dipset. That was when the cameras was so pixelated, like you really couldn't tell who anybody was. And I had this fake FUBU chain, you know what I'm saying? And I was wearing it acting like Jim Jones. It was hilarious. We need to start doing content like that again. I need to get back on that type of content too. I didn't even post that as no content. I just posted that as something dumb, and it was hilarious. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Jim Jones thinks that he's tough because he's doing pull-ups. Hey, True Life said, you doing pull-ups with a bitch on your back? I'll do a pull-up and come and hit you up with the Mac. He said, this nigga doing pull-ups with a bitch on his back. I'm doing pull-ups. Pull up and hit you up with the Mac.
And I think people who are using it should be investigated for trying to obstruct federal law enforcement. That is a crime. This is not just playing around with apps. This is a federal crime.
That's right. And Marie, I know you don't feel this way, but why are so many in your party?
Hey, Cameron is hilarious, man. Like, Cameron's voice is just hilarious. Cameron said, "You a guardian angel and a designer? You one of them people, son. You one of them people that gotta tell everybody you from Harlem every 5 seconds. Everybody from Harlem know who from Harlem." And we might have to react to like old hip hop videos, man. We might have to react to like every single cocaine city where True Life was clowning Jim Jones because it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, "I think I have seen those vintage videos. Think you wore a red do-rag in one of the videos with the dark sunglasses." Yeah, that was it. And I that was when I was lightweight buff when I, you know what I'm saying, when I was working out. I ain't have a shirt on. You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. That video got some views too, man. That video got some views.
Intent on protecting such monsters. What is wrong with getting the child rapist who is here illegally back out of the country and the whole long list of them all?
Nothing's wrong with deporting criminals. I think we should. 100%. What is challenging right now?
Yeah, my brother used to actually make we used to both make content and post it onto the channel. You know what I'm saying? I was actually talking to him the other day. I'm gonna try to get him on to talk about some stuff on the financial side, because he got some good ideas popping off.
Is you put up 3 extraordinarily dangerous criminals who should be deported. I also, on the other hand, see the stories of the 65-year-old grandmother who has 6 grandkids, who's been here for 30 years, who has not committed any crime except coming here illegally, and she is now being targeted by ICE. There are hundreds of stories like that we've seen across the country. So I want ICE to focus on the worst of the worst and not rounding up 6-year-olds with cancer getting.
Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, "Where can I find that video for research purposes?" Hey, that's hilarious, man. That video is long gone. It's a video of me and my brother boxing and all. Man, we used to post all kinds of stuff on there on YouTube.
Treatment. People checking in at their actual immigration hearings like they're supposed to. ICE is also going after them. I don't ever want anyone to attack an ICE officer. What I also don't like, though, is ICE officers who are, plain clothes, masked, scaring people. These people are not undercover. They are coming in heavily armed, throwing, in many cases, non-violent people to the ground. We have video after video of it. So I think we have to hold both ideas in our head at once.
Hey, how many? Shout out to ALC. ALC said Jim Jones got real life old young ninjas standing for him on YouTube. Yo, how many of y'all heard that song 400 Bands? The AI is an AI song of Nas. It's an AI Nas song. That's the Jim Jones diss. Did y'all hear it? It's called 400 Bands. Hey, listen. The AI is it's wild how accurate AI can like learn a human pattern and copy it. Like, a lot of people just automatically don't like this song because it's AI. But when I tell you this is some shit that this is some shit that Nas would have wrote. Like, Nas would have wrote this shit. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all heard? Who heard the song? Y'all heard 400 Bands? It's supposed to be the AI Nas going in on Jim Jones. When I tell you this shit is it's almost not believable that Nas it's not believable that Nas didn't write this. Man, I'm about to shout out to DeAndre. I'm about to play this real quick. Y'all, man, what? Hold on, man. We gotta play this. We gotta play this, and then we getting back to it. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Uh-oh. 4th of July immigration operation strikes West Hollywood car wash. They're not playing with people. They're not playing with people out here. Getting deported at the car wash, yeah. They got deported from the car wash. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on real quick. All right, let me see. Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. Listen, don't just automatically hate on the song because it's AI. Understand Nas, right? Understand Nas. Understand how Nas raps. And then listen to the song. You know what I'm saying? We know that Nas didn't make this. But the fact that AI was able to learn and profile Nas and come up with something like this is wild. Listen to this. Listen to this.
This is a GK David creation. And according to Celebrity Network, the rapper Jim Jones has an estimated net worth of $400,000.
400 bands. I spent the last night with my man to Magic City. 400 bands. It's going to take a lot more to go to war because it can't get gritty. 400 bands. I spent the last night with my man to Magic City. 400 bands. It's going to take a lot more to go to war because it can't get gritty. The reporter said you ain't half the M. So when niggas like you start running their mouth, I laugh at them. You told them that you was a fan that's baffling. Escobar sees a return, I'm back again. It's whispers in the wind saying Capo ain't kicking. Frontin' like you rich, but the math ain't making.
Hey, look. hey, man, tell me the AI profiled and learned Nas, and I'm telling you, man, like this is some Nas would have wrote this shit.
Said you ball hard, but the money in the drain. Your net worth is less than I paid for a chain. Scribbling bird game, but the nest look hollow. Fuck your YG, I'll make your followers follow. From QB comes God's son. You vamp like, but when the sun comes out, the vampires run. Use the Halo Max B, you fucking son.
Hey, no, this is a Nas line right here. Like that line about the Queensbridge Godson. When the sun come out, the vampires run. That's a Nas line. I bet you when Nas heard that, Nas was like, man, what?
Son, you vamp like, but when the sun comes.
This right here.
Fuck your YG, I'll make your followers follow. From QB comes God's son. You vamp like, but when the sun comes out, the vampires run.
That's a Nas line. That's a vintage Nas line. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit that Nas would have said. And they put it together in the same way Nas would have said it. You know what I'm saying? When I heard that shit, I was like, whoa, what?
Fuck your YG, I'll make your followers follow. From QB comes God's son. You vamp like, but when the sun comes out, the vampires run. Use the Halo Max B, you fucking sucker. Seen a video of you getting chased in Bucker. You kissed your moms in the mouth, that's your legacy. I birthed the whole East Coast with integrity. I built empires, that's why everybody fucking with me. Like Forgiato rims and tires. You from the Bronx, hang around a bunch of fucking liars. And Whack 100 said you probably wear it wires.
Hold up, Nas. What y'all think about that? Everybody in the comment section is like, I hate the internet. I hate the internet. I hate AI. Like, nobody asked you whether you liked AI or not. What do you think about the integrity of the song? See, to me, right? To me, the fact that AI profiled Nas and came up with a song like that, that shows how great of a rapper Nas is. I'm like, the AI came up with that for you? Like, that shit was smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the AI thinks that highly of you, that it came up with that smoke for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit is loud. Look, and then there's another half of the comments that say that. The comments say AI Nas cooks Jimmy. Fact. Yeah, Ether was fire. But I'm telling you that, like, those were Nas lines. And on top of it, not only was them Nas lines, but like the way he timed it and shit like that. Man, that AI, like that shit is impressive, man. I'm not even gonna, like, that shit is impressive. I bet you Nas, if Nas heard that shit, Nas would be impressed with that shit. Nas wouldn't say shit. If Nas heard that shit, that nigga wouldn't say shit. He would just smoke a blunt and be like, yeah, it's the future, son. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's it. Because, you know, Nas don't be saying too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nas say a lot, right? Like Nas say a lot in his music. But, like, Nas don't say a lot, though, like, outside of the music. Like, just a lot. Nas just spark up a blunt like, the future's a beautiful thing, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, the future's a beautiful thing. That's it. That's Nas' opinion on that. You know what I'm saying?
Support the bad criminals, but maybe not the 65-year-old grandmother with 6 grandkids who pays taxes and is a beacon of her community. That's why Democrats don't like everything ICE is doing right now.
And Harris, I'm curious though, because all of a sudden now CNN is touting, this app, right? We want people to have the notice of when ICE is in the neighborhood.
He said, I'm QB's godson, and when the sun come out, the vampires run. Like, what? And it was some bars in that. It was some bars in that. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, AI Nas cooked. Jim Jones can't beat AI Nas. Like I'm just throw that out there. I'm just throw that out there. Jim Jones can't cook AI Nas. AI Nas gonna cook Jim Jones every time. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Let me ask y'all this. Let's say Jim Jones make a response to that. Is Jim Jones response gonna do anything? No. Jim Jones' response going like, listen, Jay-Z responded to Nas with Super Ugly and it didn't do nothing. You think Jim Jones' response gonna do something? Like, Jim Jones, it's not gonna do anything.
But what notice did Laken Riley get when she was ambushed and murdered? What notice do any of these Angel
And how much did they cover that?
Exactly. And so I just don't understand why an argument to protect a certain amount of people has any weight in this conversation at all, when the conversation is about protecting Americans from those monsters and protecting ICE agents from the domestic monsters that are trying to ambush them.
Yeah, no, those are great points. I'm not going to go after CNN. I don't want to help them get viewers. That's all we do when we talk about them. Look, they didn't do their due diligence here. They should have contacted ICE. They should have done a lot of things journalistically, but we'll just let them live in that lane. You know, Maria, I don't know wider investigations that ICE is doing, but they tie a lot of bolts and things together and streams of information together with some of the people that they pick up. So I can't question every arrest that they do. I don't know who that grandmother knows. You don't either. And that's part of the issue here. And that is difficult, but they can't tell us everything. What I'm looking at are the times that those people are returned back into society and returned to their homes. And that is happening. With what regularity? It's not known enough for us to know, because they're so embedded, some of these gangsters, into our communities that, yeah, we might.
Yo, let me ask y'all this question. How many of y'all have seen those YouTube channels where people just like, they'll just take clips from like a Fox News video, or they'll just take clips from like an MSNBC video. They'll just take these clips and they'll just post these clips on their channel, like just to grow the channel. Have you ever seen that? If you guys have seen that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't seen that, give me a thumbs down. I might just start doing that. That might be the cheat code for real.
I'd see a grandmother and aunt or someone
with cancer, Harris?
Look, the 6-year-old has to live with an adult. Come on, don't get cheesy. Of course,
I'm
that
not
person's in a
cheesy.
family,
And
that child is in a family with whomever.
Hey, cat fight. Hey, my man just sitting there like, let's go.
Is in that household. And what I'm saying, and what I would advocate for, is once they do the vetting, then you move on to the next thing that makes sense for those people that you've apprehended. Is that letting them go? Is it sending them back to their country and saying you can get in line first? Whatever that is. But if you're saying that we shouldn't stop something like tipping people off to ICE agents for their own protection because you don't like other things about the process, well, I thought you could do many things at one time. You usually say that you can. We have to be able to do that all together. And by the way, Hakeem Jeffries was wrong. And so are you and anybody else who would say that people being targeted in law enforcement cannot cover themselves, protect themselves. These gang members will go after families. They don't care. They have every right. So when Hakeem Jeffries said a couple of weeks ago, let's unmask these agents, I want him then to be tasked with protecting.
Fine. Because Rosanna, what offends me personally would be, for example, the illegal immigrant that set the subway rider on fire here in my city, and the list that goes on. So,
hey, do you guys? How many people remember that story about that migrant that set that lady on fire in the subway? That was a crazy story. If y'all remember that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash the like button. Also, if you haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, please hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, and also please share the stream to your social media. That video, that situation was crazy right there.
Again, what offends me is the notion that there are people that are trying to protect those monsters and also render vulnerable the ICE agents that put their lives on the line to try to get those monsters out of our cities.
I have to just say, I am very disappointed in CNN. I know you don't want to give them any attention, but I mean, I've been in TV news a number of years, so have you. There's a certain amount of responsibility when you put something on your air. Somebody there had to know that this was a very controversial thing to put on their air. I mean, are they so ratings challenged they'll throw up all the rules and regulations of TV?
Hold on real quick. I was just about to say, isn't this the Fox News 5 anchor? Didn't I tell y'all she was going to end up getting on Fox? That's the lady from the local news, from the New York City local news channel. I was like, man, she looked familiar. That's the lady who would be like talking, she would be like lightweight talking shit to Eric Adams. Remember when I said that? I was like, man, she's going to get on Fox. She's going to be on Fox. Rosanna Scotto, yeah. Hey, you know what's hilarious about her? She reminds me of what's the dude's name that played in Money Talks with Chris Tucker? Charlie Sheen. She reminds me of Heather she's the person that Heather Locklear was playing in Money Talks. Like, she reminds me of that. If Heather Locklear's character in Money Talks was based on a real person, it's her. Like, I know people have been out and about and they've seen like, oh, this is the nigga that Samuel L. Jackson be playing in these movies. Okay, I got it. She's the lady that Heather Locklear played, you know what I'm saying, in Money Talks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sybil. What's good with it, Sybil? That's hilarious. And she on Fox. See, man, I told y'all she would be, see, like, your boy be knowing, man. Your boy be knowing.
Very disappointed in CNN. I know you don't want to give them any attention, but I mean, I've been in TV news a number of years, so have you. There's a certain amount of responsibility when you put something on your air. Somebody there had to know that this was a very controversial thing to put on their air. I mean, are they so ratings challenged they'll throw up all the rules and regulations of TV news and just put anything on their air? It was irresponsible to promote this app.
That's right.
That's why they did it, because it gets eyeballs.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno.
All right, so there's that. All right. So yeah, that app is interesting. They're having all these issues with these apps. Do you guys remember all of those issues? Do you guys remember all of those issues with the CBP1 app? Let me see something. Hold on real quick. We got to take a look. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo, you still in here? Now, we got to talk about this. This is some Undocumented Bros International stuff, right? Now, this is something that I find interesting. And this is also, you know, I gotta go in on these arguments, right? We got to talk about the boss. Now, how many people have heard, and again, these arguments, like, okay, so I want to say this, right? And again, this is no disrespect to, like, you know what I'm saying, any people that's not Black American, you know what I'm saying? But these are arguments that are used, right? These are arguments that are used to disrespect us. There's the model minority argument, and under the umbrella of model minority, how I say that a lot of everything should be valued in Bitcoin, right? When it comes to people who aren't white, their progress in the United States is always compared against the progress of Black Americans. Now, nobody asked them to do that. Me personally, I could care less. I don't go around asking people, hey, compare what you've done against what I do, right? But this is what the people of the world do. And if people need some type of evidence to show that, I can do an entire series showing instances of where this takes place, right? I'll be more than happy. Challenge me if you wish. I'll provide so much evidence you will need me to stop, okay? Now, the thing that I find interesting is that people buy these narratives that they're fed. You know what I'm saying? The purpose of the model minority argument is different, if you ask me, than the purpose of the quote unquote industrious non-Black American Black person, right? And, you know, shout out to Whitey in the comment section who always comes in here talking shit. I wouldn't disagree with him when he says that that kind of stuff is done, you know what I'm saying, by WSs to create infighting. I wouldn't disagree with that, right? But we have to examine that argument. And the examination of that argument has to go like this. When people who are Black American or people who are not Black American come to the United States, they say that they're better than Black Americans because of XYZ factors, right? Now, these things are debatable. Now, let's compare the situation when Black Americans are added to the equation as immigrants. I want to ask you guys, how many videos of Black Americans in other countries can you find like this?
This is the face of modern Britain. Rakeem Miles, a 23-year-old low-life waste of oxygen, punched a man to death on the London Underground because he accidentally brushed past him. Now look at this guy, okay? Samuel Winter had his whole life ahead of him. A model citizen, by all accounts, an AI engineer. Now he's gone. You just know, don't you, that Rakeem Miles hasn't contributed a single thing to Britain. But do you know how long he'll be in prison for manslaughter? He could be out in just 5.5 years. That's all. Now watch this video.
When do you see man right on the show? Make up the man, then took your dough. X-Town blood man, that's how I roll. You don't know, now you know. Listen to the bars and check out the flow.
They got some things going on. They got some stuff going on over there. They clearly have some things going on over there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's continue.
That is a taxpayer-funded rap video about how a lack of respect for other cultures might lead to racism and violence. This Slovakian man is in that video, and he is one of 3 Slovakian men who kidnapped a 12-year-old British schoolgirl and then repeatedly raped her.
So the undocumented bros worldwide are doing a lot of the same thing that they're doing here. What about undocumented Black Americans throughout the world? Where's the reports of undocumented Black Americans throughout the world? First of all, where's the reports of undocumented Black Americans? How often do Black Americans violate that particular crime? Second of all, if Black Americans do violate that crime, show me where they're doing this all over the place. We'll do a video on it. Send it to me. Show it to me.
They plied her with drugs and subjected her to the most horrific ordeal, which took place in this squalid caravan. Just disgusting, isn't it? Imagine what she went through.
He said in a squalorous caravan. Let me ask you guys this question. Why is it that American news networks, American networks, mainstream media and such, why do they not ever go over mass migration issues throughout the rest of the world? Why do they not go over that as if it's not happening? That's my question.
Why have any of those men ever contributed to Britain? No, I'm not sure they'll even be deported, by the way. And do you know who else we can't deport? An asylum seeker from Tajikistan who has to stay in Britain because he'd been made to shave off his beard back in Tajikistan. Men in the country with beards are apparently arrested, shaved against their will, and have their fingerprints taken by police. It is part of a government campaign to try to prevent men from becoming radicalised and joining Islamic extremist terror groups. So Britain, of course, naturally has allowed him to stay. Do we think that he will make a sparkling contribution to this country? I suspect not. Hard-working Brits battered to death in random attacks for brushing past someone on their way to work. British schoolgirls raped by drug-fueled foreigners who've been given handouts by the state, and we're unable to deport a bearded Tajik. Britain is broken. Let's get thoughts from my panel. We have got Director of Popular Conservatives, Mark Littlewood. We've also got the Tory MP for Tatton, Esther McVeigh, and broadcaster and journalist Nina Mishkov. Yeah, Mark, I've kind of brought those stories together, really, because they were all out today alone. So I thought, well, why not? I mean, first things first, he could be out in 5.5 years, that guy, for just battering a stranger to death on the London Underground. I mean, what's going on there?
I agree. And I now compare all.
Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said GB News is UK is like Fox News on steroids. they never expose SLC 24A5 crimes. Oh, it's all good, bro. Trust me, I already know. I know all about GB News, and I know exactly where to get information to expose SLC 24A5 crimes. We will definitely throw. Man, listen, the Manchester Evening Post. I rarely see people who are non-SLC 24A5 in the crime section of the Manchester Post, the Manchester Evening. You know what I'm saying? Manchester Evening Post. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Intuitively Wise. Intuitively Wise says, we don't leave to a different country unless you are serving in the military. That I wouldn't agree with that. People go to different countries all the time. People go on vacation. People go for work. Yeah, we leave. You know what I'm saying? We out here. You know what I'm saying? Who stays here? Shout out to the Da Vinci Jeremy, the Bitcoin Maximus on YouTube. He's a Black American that's currently living in Dubai, not in the military. He part of that Bitcoin army, you know what I'm saying? But that's about it. Wait a minute. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Both them women sit on the couch is 25? 2,500.
All of these sentences to what Lucy Connolly got for a tweet. 31 months and no early release. There is something completely skew-if and disproportionate. But I can't decide at the moment whether Britain is a tragedy or a joke, but it's one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, the rap video, I guess that preceded it.
Moxie, Passport Bros, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said Da Vinci fled like a mofo. Look, I'm not mad at him. And technically, he didn't flee, right? Technically, what happened was he got it popping in the United States, right? Got a giant bag off of YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And then bounced. Intuitively Wise says, when was the last time you left the country? I leave the country all the time. Bro, I live right on the border of Canada. I go to Toronto and Ontario all the time. What does me leaving the country have to do with everybody else? My employer has a program where we could work in Dubai if we want to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we leave. You don't have a passport? Are you one of those people that's scared of flying? Do we need to break down the logic of the absurdity of fear of flying? Yeah, we leave, bro, and I leave. You never been on an international flight? Technically, going on a cruise, depending on where you go, is leaving the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, most crews leave the country. Hey, shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Win, Lose, or Rug said that's how the average 25-year-old Wonder Woman looks. Hey, I get it too. That's why I'm dying laughing. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Committing the crime. But why on earth are there taxpayer-funded rap videos, for God's sake? I mean, how is that a good use of resources? And then the idea that we'll give safe haven to people because they don't want to...
Hey, look, I got to ask, what any type of music or entertainment, right? Now, you know, if it was a tax-funded country video, you know, we got to see what his reaction would be on that, right? We got to see what his reaction would be on that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chanel. Chanel said, I go to Ghana every year to visit my best friend. There you go. Intuitively Wise, don't let me find out you one of them people that be like, we don't never do this and we don't never do that. Bro, this is one of the reasons why I be saying people got to stop that we stuff, man. Stop the we stuff. Just because you don't do something, don't assign that to everyone to try to normalize it. Because that's why people do that we stuff. If there's something that's kind of questionable, you see people say, well, we do that. No, you do that. And on top of it, you fronting. Look, you done been all over the place. Went to Germany. Yep, my son was in the UK last week. Went to Germany as a young person, Paris and Amsterdam. You traveling all over the place, talking about we don't travel. Oh, man. So yeah, they about to do their Sky News thing. And I always really enjoy watching like news from other countries. I really enjoy it. I like it. I don't really be caring too much about what American people got to say. Like I don't care about none of that. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But I really enjoy watching like news of other countries. You know what I'm saying it's really interesting. We're gonna take a look at what Ron DeSantis is saying about this Alligator Alcatraz. Let's see what DeSantis is saying. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Hey, we gotta when we get crypto rich, we gotta get Win Lose a Rug out of the country. If you guys agree, when we get crypto rich, we got to get Win Lose a Rug out of the country. Give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Now, why are Democrats teaming up with gangs all of a sudden? Now, we told you about that crazy California official calling for them to hold a turf war with ICE. And now a Democrat rep is trying.
Now, look, again, right? I should have played this earlier, but that's okay. We can go back to this. Again, I gotta ask you all the question. I gotta ask you all the question in the comment section because we gotta keep going over this. Why would the Democrats team up with criminals? Let me ask y'all this question. As far as quote unquote Democrat inequity, when is the last time the Democrats like quote unquote reached out to the Bloods and the Crips? If I'm not mistaken, I think the Democrats are responsible for the lockup of a lot of Bloods and Crips. So they didn't reach out to these Florencia Firestone and 18th Street Roland whatever. You know what I'm saying? To get them locked up. They called for them to do some Mama Says BS. Mama said go outside and help. You know what I'm saying? Why haven't the Democrats reached out to the Bloods and the Crips? And the thing about the Crips is the Crips actually used to be like some type of community organization. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't always a street gang. So, there's that, right? Shout out to Leonard. This is a mama said BS. Mama said get your ass outside and go down there and help, man. Shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Now, why are Democrats teaming up with gangs all of a sudden? Now, we told you about that crazy California official calling for them to hold a turf war with ICE. And now a Democrat rep is trying to protect illegal alien gang members from Trump.
This isn't about Tren de Aragua. This is about continuing to equip Trump with tools to execute his anti-immigrant agenda.
How is it not about Tren de Aragua? Like, somebody explain to me how it's not about Tren de Aragua. This woman is delusional. Is there anyone that can explain to me how it's not about Tren de Aragua? Yeah, shout out to the 18th Street SA. Yeah, whatever them cat, the 18th Street Jose's, whatever their name is. You know what I'm saying? Stop copying. You know what I'm saying? Like what somebody come up with Rolling 60, and then what I'm saying, like someone comes up with like 98th Street, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like you don't have to do it. Like do your own thing. How are you hardworking if all you do is copy? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? A lot of people just copy stuff and then call everybody else lazy. Copying and plagiarism is a form of laziness too. You know what I'm saying?
That's unfortunately what this bill is actually going to do. Tren de Aragua has become a dog whistle to justify every racist, xenophobic action this administration wants to take.
Now,
so let me ask you guys this question. So she just said Tren de Aragua has become a dog whistle to justify any racist action that this administration wants to do. Now, how is that? How is that? Let me ask you guys this question. How many people feel triggered when Tren de Aragua is discussed? If you feel triggered when Tren de Aragua is discussed, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Bro, facts. Non-black people are so race obsessed. It's tiring. I have non-black fatigue. If you experience non-black fatigue, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I mean, I'm just so tired. You know what I'm saying? Just so tired. Like I can't even hardly move. I feel like bogged down. Just tired. I need an extra Red Bull every day because I'm just tired. It's non-black fatigue. I mean, it's just dragging me down. I need to go to the doctor and get like some Adderalls or something. Just non-black fatigue. You know, I extra hour of sleep every night. It's just tired. I'm saying just tired. Just all up in your face. You know what I'm saying? Taco Bell all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Olive Garden all over the place. Just tired. Where the rib shacks at? You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Now being upset about a criminal violent gang is racist. Here with me now for reaction, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor, she's talking about a bill that would direct DHS to conduct a threat assessment.
Shit, I'm tired. Look, hey, shout out to collard greens. Shit, I said shout out to collard greens. Shout out to Carlton. Shit, I'm tired. Where's some damn collard greens at? Shit. You know, there's non-black fatigue. You know, they're tired of macaroni and cheese with only one damn, you know what I'm saying, kind of cheese and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. Shit, fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go give me some 5-hour energy drink. I need 5-hour energy drink. I'm just so damn tired. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm just tired. Look, can't even do a live stream. Can't even do a live stream without Laura Ingraham and Ron DeSantis. I'm just tired. I'm about to end this shit right now and take a nap. Shit, just drained. Energy just all gone. It's just completely gone.
Of Tren de Aragua. So now even looking at a threat is a dog whistle. This is how low the Democrats have gone.
Well, it's amazing. They just don't believe in sovereignty of our country. They don't believe in borders. And they always come up with reasons saying dog whistle. But the reality is they just don't believe that immigration laws should be enforced. If you come here illegally, they think that you should stay.
Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre says, somebody give me some peach cobbler. Somebody give me some fried chicken shit before I fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? Hey, instead of, sending me super chats, you know what I'm saying? Hey, your boy accepts DoorDash as a payment too. Somebody DoorDash me some ribs. Shit. Tired before I fall asleep right here on the microphone. Before I fall asleep right here on the microphone. I'm just tired. You know what I'm saying? Got a good 9 hours of sleep. I'm just tired though. You know what I'm saying? Just tired. It's all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
And when they're even defending the worst of the illegals, that's the proof that's in the pudding.
I have to ask you about the New York mayoral race because you had me screaming laughing with your tweet a few days ago about Palm Beach real estate going even higher. Given the Florida renaissance under your leadership and the Republicans in your state used to be a purple state, even though it was trending blue, now it's red. What do you say to New York after, and again, a love affair with illegal immigrants?
Well, we actually saw this in recent years with Chicago. So they had a mayor, Lightfoot, who everyone was complaining about. People were fleeing Chicago, going places like Naples. And then they elected the guy they have now, who's even worse. And so you've seen even a bigger reaction. And I kind of feel like New York's doing that. De Blasio caused a lot of people to flee that city. And I saw it firsthand with the amount of wealth that moved into Florida and the businesses.
And now I think it's interesting, right? Do you guys see how Ron DeSantis jumped to saying, quote unquote, de Blasio caused a lot of people to flee? De Blasio hasn't been the mayor of New York for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if Trump was like, listen, Ron, come here. You know what I'm saying? You get on Fox News and they ask you about New York. Make sure you don't say anything about Eric Adams. I got to agree. Shout out to, if you guys agree with Win, Lose, or Rug, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Win, Lose, or Rug said, I'm tired of them being afraid to stand up for themselves, so they cry for a savior. My ancestors got up and got to it. I'm not mad at that. Facts. Facts. Nowadays, there's an entire wave of content. There's an entire wave of ideology. You know, there's an entire online culture of aggressively chest out crying for a savior. And what's fascinating about it is that people can't see it. Listen, hey, shout out to TCU. I need some banana pudding with vanilla wafers and homemade meringue with the brown tips. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I had one of my coworkers had brought some banana pudding to work the other day. It was good as hell. It was hilarious because I shouldn't say this individual's a quote unquote undocumented cis, but there's a individual of quote unquote unknown residency status by me you know what I'm saying, that works with us. And she had never had, like, you know what I'm saying, the banana pudding. You know what I'm saying? And so my coworker shared it. She was like, you know, here, you know what I'm saying? I had brought this, I'm gonna get this to Rob, but I'm gonna give you a little bit too. I was like, man, don't give her none of that shit. I was like, she probably ain't gonna like it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, and that's if she gonna stick her spoon in it, that's the more I could have been eating shit. Cause I actually like banana pudding. You know what I'm saying? Man, she gave it to her anyway. She was like, I'm not gonna do that. She gave it to her anyway. And the girl almost had a damn heart attack because she liked it so much. It was so good. She was like, oh my God, this is so good. I was just sitting there looking like, Then I told my coworker, I was like, don't bring no more of that up here and give it to her. You know what I'm saying? Because next thing you know, she'll have a cooking show talking about how to make a whole bunch of different type of exotic banana pudding, and your ass will still be working here like a goofy. You know what I'm saying? She was like, Rob, you just be saying crazy stuff. And that's the problem. That's the problem.
And so now they're in a situation where this guy that they just nominated, he will be worse than de Blasio. He wants to eliminate the NYPD. I'll tell you what, when NYPD officers move to Florida and they work for law enforcement, we give them a $5,000 signing bonus. We believe in law enforcement in Florida. He wants to take over grocery stores and have government run the grocery stores. Can you imagine the disaster that will be? He wants to eliminate.
Yeah, this guy right here, the Zohan, I think his name is the Zohan. Don't vote for the Zohan. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie or not, but he wants to have government-controlled grocery stores. This is the kind of stuff that they have in countries like where the Zohan came from. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that you don't want somebody like that as the mayor. How would you all feel about government-run grocery stores? If anybody wants a government-run grocery store, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre, she's going to take the banana pudding recipe home and reverse engineer it. Yeah, and say that is something from her culture. We do this all the time, but then when you ask other people, they don't know nothing about what you're talking about. Okay. I never tell anybody no recipe or nothing. Oh, this tastes so good. What's the recipe? If you want some more, maybe at some point, if I make some and I got some left, I'll bring you some. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you no recipe. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? What's the recipe? That's disrespect. Don't ask me what the recipe is. What you about to do? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said, folks love feeling accepted. Sad. Shit is sad. If you guys agree with Win Lose the Rug, throw some flames in the chat. I agree. I don't share any recipe or anything. Like my mom makes some sweet potato pie that is amazing, and I shared it with somebody one time, and they said, "Ooh, what's the recipe for that?" I said, "You will never know the recipe for that ever." Yeah, we created. We was in the Bronx at a party with some vinyls, and we created banana pudding 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And then Fat Joe, yeah, it's Fat Joe, yeah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, Fat Joe got to excessively say the N-word. Yeah, nigga. You know, when a nigga was like 5 years old, you know what I'm saying? My abuela was making this banana pudding. You understand? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shut that fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? Shut that fuck shit all the way up. You know what I'm saying? You know your fat ass ain't never have anything that was under 9,000 calories per serving. Shut your big ass up. You know what I'm saying? Win Lose the Rug said there's an episode of King of the Hill where she teaches the Asian her recipe. Next scene, she's talking about she made it better. There it is. That's facts. That's exactly what happened. I don't teach people nothing. Oh, show me how to do that. Nope. If you need it, come get me. You know what I'm saying? Come get me. I'm not teaching you how to do nothing. I ain't teaching you how to do shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a member of my family or a very close friend, I'm not teaching you how to do shit. You on your own. You know what I'm saying? Somebody at my job was talking about showing me some shit about Bitcoin. I was like, you got Google, don't you? Fuck you asking me for? You know what I'm saying? I ain't showing you a motherfucking thing.
Cash bail So his ideas, first of all, a lot of them have been tried in places like San Francisco, and they
You want me to talk to you. You want me to talk to you about Bitcoin, and I don't get no ad revenue for talking. Go watch my YouTube channel. Go watch some replays. Go run my motherfucking AdSense up. You know what I'm saying? I already talked about this shit. I'm not talking to you for free. I talk on YouTube for money. Why the fuck am I talking to you for free? Go watch my YouTube channel and then come back to me. You know what I'm saying? I told a motherfucker that shit. She was like, I added nutmeg and gave it flavor. Super shady. That's listen, that's kind of done. That's kind of done a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of done a lot.
Have failed miserably. To the extent he's got these far left ideas that have not yet been implemented, I guarantee you it will be disastrous. And so look, I'm not asking for anyone to come to Florida. We've got 23.5.
Right. Hey, listen, the TMI would have gladly shown my coworker about Bitcoin. And then my coworker would have came back and said, well, I bought this index fund in the S&P 500. And TMI would have stroked out and flipped out about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people do. I'm going to waste my time explaining all this stuff to you for you to then turn around and not do what you asked me to waste my time explaining. I'm not explaining shit. You know what I'm saying? I swear I'm so serious. I told somebody, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I heard you talking about Bitcoin the other day. Well, I hope you heard the good part because I'm not repeating it. Modern investor's voice. I don't understand. He's gonna say, I told this guy all about Bitcoin, and then he went and bought an S&P 500 index fund. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I understand it. That's why I don't tell people shit. You know what I'm saying? What would you rather have? This nice wholesome meal or poison? I know people want the poison. Here go the poison. I'm gonna eat the wholesome meal, sell you the poison. Works out. You know what I'm saying?
Million people, Laura.
Yeah,
New York only has 19.5 million now. So we have way more people than they do. And this is likely just going to dig that hole even deeper for them.
Governor, I have to talk about what so many people are talking about, which is this Alligator Alcatraz. I love the whole concept. It's this new migrant detention center in the Everglades, as long as the Everglades aren't touched, because I love them too. Now, you gave us some exclusive video of the construction. So how long is it going to take? How many illegals will actually be housed there?
Well, first, the reason why we're doing this is because we want to increase deportations. And what ICE is told.
The reason why they're doing this, I'm going to tell you the true reason why they're doing this, right? Because Florida is not one of the places that has a major migrant crisis issue. Everywhere has a migrant crisis issue, right? But Florida doesn't have a major migrant crisis issue. The reason why Ron DeSantis is doing this is to get back into the good graces of Trump, because he kind of got out of line during the election. You know what I'm saying? So now Ron DeSantis is going to jump out the window and do everything possible that he can do to show his loyalty. The illegal migrant situation, that was and has been Trump's thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said they're trying to scare more of them into self-deporting. Bro, they've been self-deporting all over the place. It's like a building with a whole bunch of people jumping out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, let me see. Hold on real quick. It's people self-deporting every day. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you somebody that's self-deported. Hold on real quick. They self-deporting all over the place. I got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? They out. I'm bouncing. Goodbye. I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Where you about to go? Shit, back? Where you in a rush to? Get back? You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Look at this. They just self-deporting all over the place.
Crackdown coupled with the national ad campaign urging undocumented people to self-deport has prompted some people to do just that, self-deport. Let's bring in our investigative reporter, Hilda Gutierrez.
After living in the U.S. for more than 15 years, Victor says he would rather buy his own one-way ticket home than risk being arrested and put in a detention center or being deported to a prison in Central America. From dishwasher to kitchen manager, Victor says he's enjoyed every step of his journey.
So honestly, I love to work.
He was only 16 when he arrived in San Francisco in 2007.
I mean, I don't understand. If you've been here for this long and you're working and you're making a little bit of money, why haven't you? Make shit official? Like, why is it so extended? An American citizen gets into more trouble for not paying bills than these people get for illegally being and living in the country. Yeah, shout out to Jesse. Make sure y'all hit the link to Jesse's channel down there. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all show Jesse some love.
In search of opportunities. But after all these years, he's still undocumented. And now he says it's time to go back to Yucatan, Mexico on his own terms and not in handcuffs, as he's recently seen happen to others on the news.
The way that they're being detained, it's unfair because they've been treated like animals. We only come to this country to work. We don't come to look for problems.
For the last...
Shout out to Joaquin Vasquez. Joaquin Vasquez says how he don't speak English. Good afternoon, all that time. A lot of these places, here's the thing, right? If you ask me, a lot of these, this is the problem with like a lot of these places, like especially like California, Texas, Florida, when they have these areas of Spanish like speaking centers, there's no need for a lot of, they have an entire ecosystem. There's no need for the people to ever learn English because there's always like Spanish or something written in Spanish available. So they don't ever have to learn it. If everything was all English, they wouldn't have a choice. But because the United States caters to the needs of everybody except for American citizens, if you don't speak English, don't worry about it. We got a free translator for you, and we got the Spanish translation right under the English writing. So you don't have to learn. But I mean, what about going to school and all? Like I don't know. You know, I don't understand how you don't know that. I don't know. It's just, that's the only logical thing that I could think of as to why somebody wouldn't know, you know, the English language after all that time. Is because here in the United States, you could get into these pockets and there's a complete ecosystem in these pockets where you may never have to speak English. You know what I mean? Like you may never have to speak English. So then if you don't have to speak English, there's no necessity to learn. You know, even in the court system, like these people going to court, they don't even have to speak English there. They got an interpreter, you know.
5 years, Victor has worked alongside the Mecable brothers at their popular Masra restaurants. They started the business without much experience and credit Victor for the successful launch of their Redwood City location.
Redwood, that's like Sons of Anarchy, the Redwood originals, right? So, look, why didn't the restaurant owners help get him together as far? Like, I got the feeling that this is the type of dude, he's gonna self-deport and then he's gonna try to get his stuff together and come back. Like the people who have entered the country illegally multiple times, they just don't care. Somebody like this kind of person actually strikes me as someone who's like, I don't want to deal with none of these legal problems. I see what's going on. I'm about to leave. I'm gonna try to get my stuff together and come back. Okay. That being said, why didn't you get your stuff together before you came in the United States when you were 19? Yeah, you would think about it, because it's like squatting, right? Like if you're here and you're not a legal citizen, it's very similar to squatting. And the reason why is because the rent of America is tax. And if you're not necessarily being able to be tracked to where you can pay tax, for the most part, you're effectively staying here for free. Right? I mean, if you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. And that's just my take on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be wrong. My take might be not, you know, accurate or whatever. But I'm just saying that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? That's not law. It's just how I feel about it. You know. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media.
As cliche as this is, though, to the employees, and I mean,
these people, like even calling them employees feels off. They're literally my coworkers. Like I see these people more than I see my family, and they come in.
So like my thing is, if this is the case, like if he's been at this restaurant for so long, as a restaurant owner, like why didn't you invest in your employee and get him legal? Every year you know what I'm saying, you got to fill out human resource paperwork and do all that stuff. Be like, yo, you might want to think about this because these are things that we got to renew pretty soon. And, you know, it's unpredictable what kind of government administration we'll have. Right. So we don't know if the environment will be the same, but you have less likelihood of any type of event if you have all your ducks in a row. And I've said that too, Joe Kane. Any of these companies and Democrats who provide incentives to these people provide positive reinforcement for people to continue coming. There's more rewards than there are consequences for people to do this. So that's the reason why people keep doing it.
Put in countless hours, so much love into the food.
When they found out Victor was leaving, his bosses wanted to make sure he knew how much they appreciate him.
You know, Victor's been essential to the restaurant, to the development, really the menu, the staff, a lot of people he brought in. He's always been a leader.
According to the American Immigration Council, of the 13 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S., the vast majority don't have a pathway to legal status, meaning they can't wait their turn in line because there is no line. A few years ago, Victor says he applied for a U visa, a humanitarian path to legal residency for victims of certain crimes, after he was robbed at knife point outside a bank in San Francisco. But years later, he's still waiting.
When I go on the bank get cash, some people is follow me.
Here's the thing with that. I don't think that would work. And the reason I don't think that would work because he got robbed outside a bank at knife point in San Francisco. So you can't file for asylum to be in the United States based on trauma that happened to you in the United States while you're here illegal. Like there's just a lot of conflicts and double negatives with that whole thing.
For my car, and he's put me the knife, and he's take me everything, my phone, my money.
For Victor, this goodbye is bittersweet. He doesn't want to leave, but says he also has family waiting for him back home, including a son who he last saw as a baby.
So now I need to go back to Mexico because I have my family there. My mom is old, so I not see it for a long time. And then my son too, I not see it for a long time. So all my family is there.
Jordan Mekables says the recent ICE arrests in the Bay Area have also shaken the rest of the team.
I was kind of messed with the employees' the morals. You know, they're just like, they're not as happy, or they're afraid to go to that court date. You know, this block could be hit. If something like that ever did occur, I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of businesses will be going out.
For Victor, he says, it's time to put his life and family first.
1,000 times. Go see your family.
I mean, but here goes my thing though. Like, why were you not doing that before? Like, what stopped you from doing that before? Now you got to do it because, you know, like Trump is cleaning house. That opportunity was always available for you.
Because you never know what could happen. Today, I'm here telling you this, but I don't know what could happen. I don't know if I'll be able to get there.
Victor, my ceviche making king, like whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in outer space, man, I know we're going to be seeing you again. I love you to death, man. And I'm sure we're going to have you in here flipping some kebabs soon, hopefully, man. All right? Just don't hold your breath.
That restaurant owner for sure smokes weed while at work, like a lot. He high right now.
Victor has booked a one-way ticket for this month. He says he did speak to an immigration attorney of the possibility of continuing his humanitarian visa process in Mexico. It's unclear how many immigrants have self-deported, but employment numbers show about 1 million foreign-born workers have exited the workforce since March.
1 million foreign-born workers have exited the workforce since March. That's a lot. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says, is Trump going after the businesses that are hiring migrants? I don't think so. And I think that Trump also said, you know, he's not really going to go hard on the migrants working at the farms either, which I found that fascinating. Shout out to Joaquin. Joaquin says, how are illegals getting income tax? I wish I had the answer for that. Who got an answer for this? Joaquin says, how illegals getting income tax? I have no idea. That's a great question. It's the same way people that don't really work very much get tax returns that are like 3 times as big as people that work 100 hours a week. You know what I'm saying?
Us is that even though all my sheriffs and police are working constructively to apprehend illegals, they just need more space, because when you bring illegals in, they have to process them. There's a little bit of a process that goes into that. And so this is really a force multiplier where we'll be able to temporarily detain the illegals so that the federal government can deport them to their home countries. Now, we already have this airport and training facility that's been there for many, many years. It will have zero impact on Everglades. I've done more for Everglades restoration than any governor in history. But what it will do is it'll be secure. It will not be interfering with Floridians. It will take pressure off our jails in Florida, because we obviously have normal criminals too. And so it's going to be a force multiplier for the feds. They've asked us to do this, and we're stepping up. And I think it will lead to more deportations. I really do.
Well, that's the ultimate goal, as always. Governor DeSantis, thank you very, very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
All right, so there's that. All right. So, question for everyone. Question for everyone. Question for everyone. More undocumented tomorrow. If y'all want more undocumented tomorrow, throw the membership emojis in the chat. Shout out to the replay gang. Replay gang, if you want more undocumented tomorrow, let me know in the comment section. Because we got other stuff we could talk about. But if y'all want to talk about this, you know what I'm saying, we can keep talking about this. Let me know. All right. Shout out to the stream sponsors. I want to make sure that I show the stream sponsors some love. I definitely appreciate y'all. Shout out to Hurricane. Make sure y'all show Hurricane, but you could call him Slurricane, some love. All right. Shout out to Hurricane again. Again! Shout out to Hurricane again. It's like Wu-Tang. Oh, again and again. Again! And shout out to DSB. Always showing love. Definitely appreciate you. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you leave a comment after the stream. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,